Hi, and welcome to Speaking from the Center. My dogs are barking, so I don't know what that's all about.
Woof, 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 woof.
Anyway, we are doing another debate. I got my Bernie Sanders shirt. I got my Feel the Burn cup. This is like, we're doing Democrats this time, right?
Yes. You got it. You nailed it, buddy.
They'd like to be.
Tim Scott got gums for the whole stage.
Go Chris Christie, and that's the saddest statement that's ever been said.
Mike Pence and his fly mother.
Oh God!
Jeez Louise. If Hobgoblin didn't get a movie deal. Where's Brenna? I don't see Brenna on screen.
Still here.
This.
Yeah, okay.
We have a lot of ground to cover. So
that don't mean shit.
Keep it civilized.
Oh.
Let's get going. We are in this spacious, sunny place tonight, designed to reflect the very nature and character of Ronald Reagan. It's
Come
a
on,
place
girl, it's your line. Don't get
makes you
scared now.
proud to be an American.
Shit.
Yet today our nation is drowning in division and incivility.
Voters say they dread
Yeah, it's
the
our fault.
2024 election and find politics exhausting. 2 in 3 Americans think the country is on the wrong track. And 3 in 4 say the economy is not in good shape.
Jesus. Prices are up 18% since 2020. More than half of the
Thanks,
US population
Obama.
has little access to childcare. 85% of Americans say their personal finances are a source of stress.
Americans want to believe a leader who says,
for the rich.
You can follow me. I've got you. Don't worry. President Biden is trying
Tim,
to
did
do
you turn your
that
fucking
with
camera
Bidenomics.
off? I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna
Yesterday,
fucking go to
he joined the
fucking
picket
Connecticut
lines
and
where
beat
auto
you.
workers are demanding more
Big blue
wages
fucking
and
Skype
job
S on
security.
my fucking feed. I hate
Senator
you.
Scott,
I hate you, Tim.
you recently reacted by praising Ronald Reagan for firing air traffic controllers in the 1980s, saying, "You strike, you're fired." Would you fire thousands of striking
Hell yeah.
auto workers
Wow.
today, Senator?
Obviously, the President of the United States cannot fire anybody in the private sector. However,
Don't say
you should look
obviously.
back at
They don't know
the first
that.
bill in Congress under Joe Biden. The first bill had $86 billion for the union pensions because they continue to overpromise yet underdeliver. One of the challenges that we have in the current negotiations is that they want 4-day French work weeks, but more money. They want more benefits, working fewer hours. That is simply not going to stand.
I have to
Finance
make $1
Committee
billion
hearing
a
when
year.
a widow came before the committee who's promised pensions
somebody
from
please
the
think of the
unions,
CEO?
$4,000 a month.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
please.
it had been cut to
You know how much
$1,000
fucking
a
jet
month.
fuel costs in
We
this
must
economy?
make sure
You
that
want
we
more
honor
money?
the
I'm
commitments
sorry.
that we make, and one
More
of the ways that
Lamborghini
we do that,
Gold
do not
toilets don't clean
overpromise
themselves.
and then underdeliver and leave the
Well, not yet.
taxpayers
I'm
on
still
the hook.
working on it
I'll
on
say
R&D.
this, Joe Biden should not be on the picket line. He should be on the southern border working to close our southern border.
Oh, there you go.
Drink.
Yeah, get the immigrants.
I got some Menage a Trois Dolce sweet red blend tonight.
Because of fentanyl.
We're going straight from the
It is
bottle.
Devastating. Every county in America
Right.
is now a border county because fentanyl has devastated Americans in every single state. I will also say 6 million illegal crossings since Joe
Wasn't this
Biden has
question
taken
about
office.
union workers?
And he eliminated.
How you know they
Title
illegal?
42. The one
If you
thing
caught
he
them, then
should
how you know
do
they-
is finish
ain't
the
tell
wall,
you.
reinstate Title 42, and get the job done.
Boy, don't nobody believe you.
I can promise promise you that we are going to have a lot of questions on the border and immigration. But in the meantime, we do want to talk about the economy and jobs, and especially want to talk about this strike for just a moment more. Mr. Ramaswamy, you've said you really empathize with the strikers.
Oh my God! Look at Jimmy Neutron. Get out of here.
With what he said, or do you think he's wrong?
I agree with some of what he said, for sure. I like the spirit of it. I'll say that I don't have a lot of
same
patience
hairstyle
for
as
the union
Kira.
bosses. I think that's where he and I actually have
That's
a
what Kira
common
looked like
view.
after a nap.
I do have a lot of sympathy for the workers, however. People are going through
She'd be
real
waking up with a
hardship in
binky
this
falling out of
country.
her mouth.
I've
Crazy
been
as
through
hell.
hardship growing up. My father stared down layoffs at GE
do
under
this?
Jack Welch's tenure at the GE plant in Evendale, Ohio. My mom had to work overtime in nursing homes in Southwest Ohio to make ends meet and pay off our home
We do
loan.
not care.
So I understand that hardship is not a choice. But victimhood is a choice, and we choose to be
drink,
victorious
everybody.
in the United States of America. You know what, if I was giving advice to those workers, I would say go picket in front of the White House in Washington,
He
D.C.
just said he can't
That's
hire
really where
and
the
fire
protest
people. Never
needs
mind.
to
I told
be.
you he shouldn't have said
Disastrous
obviously like
economic
that.
policies that have driven up prices, that have driven up interest rates and mortgage rates. At the same time, wages remaining stagnant. What we need is to deliver economic
Higher wages.
growth in this country.
No?
Unlock
Oh.
American energy. Drill, frack, burn coal, embrace
there we
nuclear
Pay the
energy,
workers.
put people back
Set
to
the
work
environment
by no
on
longer
fire.
paying them more money to stay at home, stabilize the U.S. dollar itself, and rescind a majority of
future.
those unconstitutional federal regulations that are
Look,
hampering
our Constitution
economy.
is a bunch of made-up
That is
rules,
how
and we can't just
unleash
stop listening to it
American
now.
Exceptionalism. And that's not a Democratic vision or a Republican vision. That is an American vision that we embrace economic growth, and capitalism is still the best system known to man to lift us up from poverty, and we should not
What the hell
apologize
is he
for it.
talking
That's what
to?
it means to be an American.
Boy, you need some water with your little sticky ass mouth. First of all,
Most
you
people are
need some
clapping.
aqua.
Together, the
Boy,
CEOs
if you
of
don't
General
get
Motors,
Joe
Ford, and Stellantis make
Which one of them is Bernie
336
Sanders?
times the number of number of rank-and-file workers. That's just part of a
Bernie's got an
wider income
accent.
inequality trend in the country. The richest 1% now
This
controls
is the guy all the way on the
1/5
right. He
of
looks
all
like Bernie
income.
Sanders a little.
Vice President Pence.
That's him.
Last week you said you
combed his hair.
side with American workers, but you
Finally.
also
If Bernie combed his hair, I wouldn't know what
support
to
how
think.
these companies operate. Which is it?
Well, thank you for the question. I want to thank Univision and Fox Business for assembling
Progress
such a wonderful
only.
forum.
God.
Look, I do disagree with something Tim Scott just said. Joe Biden doesn't belong on a
not
picket
answering-
line. He belongs
Your
on
Honor,
an
he's not answering
unemployment
the
line.
question.
Objection, Your
I
Honor.
want to thank the Capitol Police for
I mean, look,
saving
I'm
my
from the second leading manufacturing state in the country per capita. I was governor of the
Talk
state
about
of
Tim
Indiana.
Scott.
We brought 12,000 factories back to America during our administration. I know something about manufacturing. And
No,
I
he
got to tell
doesn't.
you, while
Oh, so you
union,
watched while they didn't get
bosses
their
are talking about
increased,
class
you know,
warfare,
year by
talking about
year
disparity
raises. Okay.
in wages. I have to tell you, I really believe what's driving that is Bidenomics has failed. Wages are not keeping up with inflation. Auto workers and all American workers are feeling it, and families are struggling in this
is that a
economy.
phrase now?
And Joe Biden's
Yeah, it
Green
is.
New
I'm
Deal
just confused
agenda
what they
is
think
good for
Bidenomics
Beijing
actually
and bad
is.
for Detroit. We ought to repeal the Green New Deal, get rid of the mandates
What
and
Green New
subsidies
It's not
that are
even in
driving
yet.
Never even
American
passed.
It's not
gasoline,
passed.
automotive manufacturing
It hasn't started.
into the graveyard.
So what are they talking
and
about?
beyond that, also,
Bernie Sanders
as
doesn't know what he's
President of the
talking
United States, I'll be standing with workers all across America.
Bernie
and I'll be
is
standing
drunk.
for the right to work of
put the
every
gummies down.
American to join a union or not join a union as they
You
decide.
made it to the wrong
Senator
debate.
Scott, you were mentioned. Will you care to respond?
Hey, they're not, at least they're not chanting for his head this
Biden
time.
needs to be fired. That's why I'm running for president. I look forward to being the next president of the United States. I will also say, I know
Quote has been
America
filled,
can
homie.
do for anyone what she's done for me. It's why we're
the next
focusing
200 years.
on
Yeah,
restoring
you're not
hope,
getting in there.
creating opportunities and protecting the America we all love. Growing up in a single-parent household.
Oh, here we
I
go.
wondered
Drink.
If the American dream would work for a kid in the inner city. I've got good news.
Single
For
mother
every
raising a
single
family of
child,
three,
whether you're
right?
in the inner cities of Chicago or the rural parts of Iowa. America and the
Chicago.
dream, it is alive.
You are
it
not
is
from
well,
Chicago.
And it is healthy. God bless
That's one of
these
their-
United States of America.
These United States?
You're in
I
California.
think we need to
Or
look
those?
at exactly what happened. Biden showed up on that picket line.
Oh,
But
Lord.
why are those workers actually there? It's because of all of the spending that he has pushed through in the economy
Wrong.
that's raised the inflation. So when you look at the fact that we are paying higher gas
what were we
prices,
saying
higher
again?
grocery prices,
I can't hear you. Your hands over your
more a year
microphone.
for families. What we need to do is I came out with
There
an
we go.
economic plan,
What's the real
eliminate
name?
the gas and diesel
Oh,
tax so that
hold
they
on,
have
I'll
more
look it up.
money in their pocket.
It's like 75,
Let's focus on going after middle
syllables.
America and cutting taxes for middle America and collapsing those brackets. Let's get rid of unfair distortions like the state and local tax that they give to
tax the
wealthy
rich.
people in blue
Oh,
states
no.
and not in
Hold on, I
paid
have to
by
tell my
red
wife
states.
this.
And let's make sure we make the small business taxes permanent. They only made those temporary. They made the
So we
corporate
shouldn't be
taxes
giving the
permanent.
taxes
Let's
that blue
focus on what it takes to
states
get
give to the
more
government
cash
to
in
the
the
red
pockets
states.
of
I think I
workers.
like that
That's
idea.
when we'll be able to deal
Actually,
with
yeah.
strikes like this,
You know,
not sitting
I
on a
think
picket line like
Mississippi,
Joe
Alabama,
Biden.
they've
Thank
gotten
you,
enough.
Governor Haley. We have other questions to get to about
Okay,
They don't
so
appreciate it.
Allow me to.
quick production reminder.
Allow me to.
I
allow
can't
me to-
stop the stream. There's a no stop rule, so everybody, you gotta lean into those mics real good for me because they're kind of drowning you guys out. Thank you.
Yes, Mikey.
Ooh, there we go. Hey, Brenda. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh no.
Hey, baby.
Subsidizing the cars.
I take it back. I take it all back.
Hey, can we stop the stream for a second?
Absolutely not.
Vehicles.
Why not?
Because then we'll have to listen to this guy talk more.
Taxpayer monies, take $1 billion, subsidize a certain type of vehicle, and the
Well, can we
batteries
talk
come
over
from
him?
China. China controls
We can talk
85%
over
of the
him if
rare
you'd like
earth
to.
minerals. They're called
I mean, they
rare
should have a
earth
commercial break
because
coming
they're
up here in
measured
like the
parts
next
per million.
5-10 minutes.
China is moving 100,000 pounds of earth in Indonesia, in Africa. They're literally destroying the planet so that they can make a battery that's in a car subsidized here. That's why they're striking, because they need 2/3 less workers to build an electric car. Joe Biden, this strike is at Joe Biden's feet.
That's not what it's about.
Or
Dumb.
Ford and Chrysler Jeep could make electric cars.
The follow-up question to Governor Christie.
Or hybrids.
The government will shut down if Congress does not reach a
Oh,
deal. by the
Rihanna
end of
Jr.,
this
where the
week.
hell you come from?
Vice President Pence warns that politics of, quote, Trump's populist proteges.
Oh my
like
gosh,
Mr.
she's nervous
Ramaswamy
now.
Are a road to ruin for the GOP. If the government shuts down, should voters blame populist Republicans?
Voters should blame everybody who's in Washington, D.C. They get sent down there to do the job.
Tell 'em,
and
Chris.
They've been failing at doing the job for a very long time. And let's be honest
Chris
about this.
snitching on everybody. He know he gonna lose. He's snitching.
During the Trump administration, they added $7 trillion. $7 trillion in national debt. And now the Biden administration has put another $5 trillion on and counting. They have failed, and they're in the spot they're in now because none of them are willing to tell the truth. None of them are willing to take on the difficult issues. They just want to keep kicking the can down the road. And the inflation
You know you
that
can't
Nikki
kick no
spoke
cans.
about is absolutely right, and it's caused
Republicans
by
do that all
government
the
spending.
time.
And that's why people all across this country are suffering tonight. And yet we don't get any answers because Joe Biden hides in his basement.
What the
won't
fu-
answer
what do you
as to
want
why
him
he's
to
raising
do?
the debt the way he's done. And Donald Trump
you mean in the
hides
White House
behind the
basement?
walls of his
He has
golf
too much
clubs
stuff in his
and won't
basement.
show
You
up
can't sit
here
down there.
to answer questions.
Got
like
Corvettes
all the
down
rest
there.
of us are up here to
like a
answer.
bomb shelter
He
down
put
there,
$7
I'm
trillion on the debt. He should be in this room to answer those questions.
Well, they got a lot of
People you talk
inflatables, and they
about
don't
are
want to like
suffering.
deflate them,
And
so
if
they
the
just store them in the
government- and if
basement.
the
I mean,
government
it's not a
closes,
lot of
if the
stuff down there,
government
but there's not a lot of
closes,
space
it's
down
the
there. either.
blame. It is to the blame of everyone in Washington, D.C., who has failed to do
Ooh,
their
he's throwing
job and just
Republicans
plays
under
to the
the bus.
grandstand.
The next question is for Governor DeSantis.
This is anarchy.
Can we please respect the time? Governor DeSantis, you haven't spoken, please.
Moderators
People
need
in
a gavel.
Washington are shutting down the American dream with
They
their
need buttons to
reckless
turn their mics
behavior.
off.
They borrowed, they printed, they spent, and now you're paying more for everything. They are the
Shimp,
reason
shut
for
your
that.
ass up.
They have shut down
Yeah,
our
come
national
on.
sovereignty by allowing our border
I think his ears
to
are
be
bigger than
wide
last
open.
debate.
So
their
please
border.
spare me the crocodile tears for these people. They need to change what's going on. And where's Joe Biden? He's completely missing in action.
He's
from
at
leadership.
work.
And you know
He
who
was at
else
the
is
picket
missing
lines.
in action?
Progress only said he was at the picket
Donald
lines
Trump is
yesterday.
missing
You're right.
in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you
Oh.
to defend his record. Where they added $7.8
In
trillion
case
to the
anybody was
debt.
wondering,
That set
Ron
the stage
DeSantis
for the
is going to
inflation
be
that we have now. I can tell you this, as
debating
governor of
Gavin Newsom,
Florida,
my governor,
we cut taxes,
in
we ran
November.
surpluses, we've paid down
Oh,
over
be funny.
25% of our state
We're doing
debt,
that. That's a stream.
And I vetoed wasteful spending when it came to my desk. And as your president, when they send me a bloating spending bill that's going to cause your prices to go
show up, I'm going to take out this veto pen and I'm going to send it right back.
That
to
pen?
them.
Yeah, right.
That's
not how it works. Sorry, buddy.
I believe what I said.
A question that is on the minds of a lot of moms and dads and Americans, and I know that you've been thinking about it because childcare costs, they are up. They're topping $10,000 per month. Some families are spending up to half of their income on childcare, and they're having to decide: is it worth it for me to work?
Well, they don't need childcare; they're not
Makes sense
working.
for me financially. In 3 days,
They're not going to work.
billions of dollars in pandemic-era funding is
Remember?
going
Where do
to
they
end,
live that a
and
childcare costs
70,000 daycares
$10,000
could
a
close.
month?
So you
it could
had an
be
effort
like
to broaden
that's
eligibility
50
for childcare
to
assistance.
$100
That
a
fell
day.
apart last year. And for the moms and dads out there who are worried,
$100
what can you
a
tell
day
them
is
if
still
you
only
weren't
what,
able to
$3
get
grand,
it through
isn't
the
it?
Congress?
That's.
How could
I mean,
you do it as president?
And that's a
if you-
lot.
Well, that's a home.
That's buying your kid a car every other month, isn't it?
That's a home daycare. That's not like a
giving people
facility.
the opportunity to pick and choose the place that they send their children. The challenges that we see today
Oh, charter
under
schools,
the
that'll
Biden
fix it.
administration is that the cost
Keep
for
the poor
daycare
kids in the
has
poor
gone
schools and then
over
get the rich kids into better schools
$15,000
with taxpayer
per
money.
child.
that, but you
In
have
the
to take
Build
away
Back
money
Broker
from the poor
plan,
schools.
he called it the Build Back Better plan. It was going up to $29,000. The way we fix that problem is to make sure
by
that
regulating
we
it.
actually cut taxes and give more
No,
Americans their money
stop
back.
it.
When I
Stop
helped write
it.
the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we actually lowered a single mother's
It's not like they're
taxes
saying
by
anything new.
70% on the federal
Like,
level.
nobody's telling
For
me
dual
something
income
different.
households by 60%.
So what he just said
Then we
is he
went a step
lowered the
further.
tax
We doubled
on
the child
single
tax
mothers who
credit
probably
and made it
don't make a
refundable.
ton of
By
money.
doing
They don't pay a lot of
parents
tax.
had more resources
So
to make
they
the
get
decisions
tax
on taking
refunds
care of
every
their
year,
family.
and they're quite
The one thing we
substantive.
should do is let the American people keep their
Because then they
money. When
spend
that
that
happens, the
into the
greatest
economy. It
opportunities
actually grows the
rise from the
economy.
ashes.
Okay,
I need to
we're
jump in
15
here.
seconds. Go ahead, and then we're going to the
Because
border.
Ilya mischaracterized
going to
a
the
part of my view. I think
border.
this artificial division is
Who the hell is
unhelpful
Ilya?
in our party.
Is that the lady?
The real divide is not between the Republicans on this stage. And in the Reagan Library, I want to say these are good people on this stage. The real
Where?
divide is between the majority of us in this
Tim.
country who love the United States of America and share our founding ideals. Free speech, meritocracy, the idea you
like
get
40.
ahead in
There
this
we go.
country, not in the color of your skin, but on the
There
content
it
of
is.
your character.
Don't
And
Up,
the
drink.
minority
Martin
in
Luther
the
King
Democrat
quote.
Party that has a chokehold
That's
over
the
that
only quote
party.
they know.
That's the real divide. So this populist
going to
versus
go to
classical debate
immigration and the
is
border.
artificial.
Ilya?
We need to unite this party.
Can I speak about the
Immigration and the border.
administration?
No, you can shut the fuck up.
We're going to talk about immigration and the border and
Childcare. We have
No, I think we're going to go on. You have to.
We have
all
Stop
these
letting
questions.
him
We're
run
gonna
over
get
you.
We're
Oh
going to
my
come back to you.
God.
There's a lot of
They
time.
need like a dog collar to shock them.
In North
That'll
Dakota,
shut up.
we knew that the cliff was coming. We
a
knew
little
that there was
zap.
going to be millions of people without it. And so guess what? We planned.
Okay.
And when we passed legislation because
Sir,
No
we will
one
get you some questions, but you're going to have to let us move on.
care.
We are going to the border.
child care
Sir,
is
Ilya,
workforce
please.
infrastructure. And I haven't been given a chance to
in
respond.
1984, President Ronald Reagan said the following.
The idea of amnesty for those who have put down roots and who have lived here, even though some time back they may have entered illegally.
2 years later, President Reagan granted amnesty to nearly 3 million immigrants, something no Democrat or Republican president has done since.
This is a
Governor
good
Christie,
question.
as governor of a non-border state in 2010, you supported a path to citizenship.
You support
But when
it.
you ran for president in
Why does he look
2016,
so sinister?
you flipped, saying immigrants should be tracked like FedEx packages. Where do you stand now on a path to
dehumanizing.
citizenship for
Yay.
11 million of undocumented immigrants?
The problem is that since no one has done anything since we first had this discussion 13 years ago, we're not in a position to be able to do any of that anymore. What we have to do now is first treat this like the law enforcement problem it is.
Wow. There you go.
Every day at the southern border.
God damn.
Every day.
Stand in the
And
troops.
Joe Biden and his crew is doing nothing about enforcing that law. They are letting it go. And by the way, they announced during the presidential race they were
They
going
were
to let it go.
enforcing it pretty well,
And
by the way.
we need to have
How many
a
deportations are they up to
president
now?
who acts like
How
I
many
did as
million?
governor. Enforce the law first and foremost, and that means What I'll do on day one is sign an executive order to send the National Guard to partner with Customs and Border Patrol to make sure
to kill
that
them.
we stop the flow of fentanyl over the border.
Sounds like a good idea.
Send guns to the problem.
We send a much
I
different
mean,
message.
they've already started drowning them.
You
Why
here
not
in this
just
country
shoot
to
them?
fill
Yeah,
the
just
6
trap them
million vacant
underwater
jobs we have.
with
And
razor
only if
wire
you're
and,
here to
and
follow
buoys.
the law,
Yeah.
And only if
That's
you come here
normal.
legally. If you come here illegally, we will apprehend you and we will send you back across the
Chris
border
Christie
from which
says
you
if
came.
you come here
And the
illegally,
fact
we'll
is
kill
that
you.
until we
Yeah,
set
you
a
will die.
border agenda in
You
this
think the
country,
cartel's bad?
not
Wait till you
only
see the
now, but in
National
future,
Guard.
We won't be able to continue this. And I'll tell you this. Donald
I think
Trump
Chris Christie
failed
smokes a lot
on
of
this
pot
as
because
well.
he's got to get the
He said he
munchies
was
all the
gonna
time.
build a wall across the whole
Look at
border.
those jowls.
He built 52 miles of wall and said
No, he was like
Mexico
that
would pay for it.
pre-Wheat.
Guess
He was like
what?
that before
I think
Whedon
if
came
Mexico
out.
knew that he was only going to build 52 miles,
He
they might have paid for the
stays
52
like
miles.
That's what he's doing on that beach.
Right.
Most illegal immigrants are coming from countries south of the border. You've seen
Should have
the
sent
Congress
National
alone
Guard
has
when he
captured
was.
the steady stream
We should have
of
sent
people
National Guard when he broke
coming into the
COVID
country on a
protocol so we
daily
could have a
basis.
fucking
In
fun
fact, I
trip
can
with his
believe we
family.
have a live picture
Right.
of it tonight. That is happening
Fox
right
News
now.
just has a
live.
camera set up.
In the last decade, the U.S. has spent nearly $55 billion to address the root causes of migration. But crime, poverty, and corruption, they persist, and the number
So why does
of
that girl with the
migrants
clipboard need a
is
gun?
only growing. Are
That
we
question is
wasting our
incorrect.
money?
Because
Well,
the
what happens
clipboard's
is
not
when Joe
armed,
Biden
Mikey.
waved the
All
green
right.
flag, it told everybody to come. And now we've seen 6 million people cross the border. We've had more fentanyl that
We
have
have
killed Americans in the Iraq,
375
Vietnam,
million
or
people.
Afghanistan
We have space for
wars
6 million.
combined. We need
Do
to
you-
make sure that we
do
are
they
a
know where
country of
fentanyl
laws. The
comes from?
second we stop being a country of laws,
No,
we
they
give up
don't.
everything
They
this
don't.
country was
They
founded
think it
on.
comes from
And we
Mexico.
have to
The
secure the
fentanyl
border.
bush.
The way we do that is, first of all,
The fentanyl bush.
defund
One
sanctuary
of them
cities.
fentanyl
You see what's
trees.
happening in Philadelphia right now. It's
People
gotta
growing
stop.
fentanyl in their
We
backyards.
need to
That's the
make sure we
problem.
put 25,000 more
gateway
Border
drug.
Patrol and
Fentanyl
ICE
pie.
agents on the ground and let them do their
That's
job.
what Tim
I
ate
spent
tonight. He had some
400 miles
fentanyl,
down that border,
gummies.
and I'm telling you, Border Patrol agents aren't allowed to do their job. Let's go
What do you
back
mean
to
they're not
remain
allowed?
in
They're
Mexico
doing their
policy.
jobs.
Instead of catch and release, let's go to
What were
catch
those
and
guys
deport.
doing in that
What about
footage?
the aid that we've been? What about the aid that federal taxpayers are paying to deal with the root causes? It's not working.
You look
The
like a
only
fucking
aid we
skeleton.
Because we're
should
not
be
dealing with
spending
it.
Right now
We're not
is
actually
to
dealing with
secure
it.
the border.
She
The
looks like that
southern
lady
border,
looks
the
like an
northern
ice witch
border,
from, like,
period.
Game of
We're
Thrones. Her
coming
eyes
in
are
to keep
too
Americans safe, and right
bright
now,
for her
Americans are
makeup.
not
It looks
safe.
like
Only when
she has
we
no
fix
pupils.
the immigration system, only when we get the border secure, should we ever look at putting any more money into
Oh my
this.
God.
Our
Oh my
money should be
God.
about keeping Americans safe. We're not doing
Our
that. Joe
border
Biden's
is
not doing that.
actually
And you
fairly
mentioned
I need more
Congress
gummies for
and
this.
shutting down government. I'll make it
That-
clear. We
that
have
one
to
hasn't even
change the
kicked in
budget
yet.
process in 4
Shit,
years.
I know.
In 40
honestly,
years.
we need to be doing
Congress
something
has
about
only delivered a
the
budget on
security in
time
America. It's
4
not safe for
times
the
in
immigrants to
40
come
years.
here.
If they don't
Mass
keep the
shooting every
government open,
goddamn
they should not
day.
get
Stay
paid.
out of
No
here. It's
pay,
dangerous.
No budget. That's the way we should have
Governor DeSantis, we have a question.
This
for
dude
you.
clapping way too hard back
Governor
there. Black dude
DeSantis,
right there.
China invested $12 billion in Latin America just last year.
Yeah.
They signed strategic partnerships with 7 countries, including Mexico. And China's military ties to the region now include arms sales and training exercises. Are you comfortable with China deepening ties with our southern neighbors?
Deepening them
Of course not.
ties.
And the reason why we're in this mess
Really
is
deep.
because elites in D.C. for far too long have chosen surrender over strength when it comes to the CCP.
There you go.
Some people in our
Elites
country
in
got
DC.
rich, our industrial base got
So what do you
hollowed
wanna
out,
do,
and they
nuke
have
'em?
been able to
Yeah.
build
Like
the
heavy
second most powerful
sigh.
military in the entire world. We need a totally new
Send the
approach to
National Guard.
China. We are going to have real hard power in the Indo-Pacific, like
hard
Reagan,
power.
to deter their ambitions. We're going to have economic independence from China, where we're decoupling our
Oh, yeah,
economy,
okay.
and we
You
are
will
going to go
never.
after
You will
the
never.
cultural
His suit's
power
made in China.
they have in this country. As governor of Florida,
That pen is
I
made in
banned
China.
the CCP
Your veto
from
pen is
buying
made in
land
China.
in our state. We should do that all across these
pen
United
is still
States. We
alive.
shouldn't have them in our universities. We shouldn't have Confucius institutes.
wait.
So
What?
you see a country in decline.
Did
our
you just say
power's
we
in
should have Chinese
decline.
people in our
China's going to
universities?
surpass us this
I hear
decade,
it.
and if they do that, that's going to
These
affect
people
every
are
single
saying the
American
quiet
household.
part
As
out
your
loud.
president, I am not going to let that
trying to
happen.
one-up each
I'm gonna
other.
reverse
Like, they're
this
just
country's
like,
decline.
yeah,
We are going to choose strength,
racist.
not surrender
What
when
does
it
he have
comes to the
against
CCP.
Confucius? Confucius
Fuck
doesn't
Confucius.
didn't teach communism.
Fuck him.
Under Joe Biden, we are a country in retreat.
You proposed, quote, universal deportation for all undocumented immigrants and their children, even if the children are citizens of the United States. Under what
Where are they gonna go?
premise will you expel U.S. citizens?
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to say is I agree with everything. The Republicans on the stage are on the right side of this issue. militarize the southern border, stop funding sanctuary cities, and end foreign aid to Mexico and Central America to end the incentives to come across.
More. That's fine.
But
That won't give the.
You're right about that.
That won't give the cartel a power hold.
Birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal immigrants in this country.
Also,
now the left will
he has
howl about the
birthright
Constitution and the 14th
he
Amendment.
favors removing
the
his
difference
own
between me and them is
citizenship.
I've actually read the 14th Amendment.
I think his parents were
What
born
it
here
says
too.
is
No,
that
he hasn't.
all persons
His parents
born
were
or
immigrants.
naturalized
Oh,
in
well
the
then,
United
yeah.
States
Yeah.
and subject to the laws and jurisdiction thereof are citizens. So nobody believes that the kid of a Mexican diplomat in this country enjoys birthright citizenship. Not a judge or legal scholar in this country will disagree with me on that. Well, if the kid of a Mexican diplomat doesn't enjoy birthright citizenship, then neither does the kid of an illegal migrant who broke the law to come here. And as the father of two sons, it is hard for me to look them in the eye and say, you have to follow the law when our own government fails to follow its own laws. That's how we really go the distance and solve this problem and restore the rule of law in the United States of America, because that is part of what it even
Oh my
means
God,
to be an
boy,
American.
get some water. You little nasty mouth.
What does Mr. Ramaswamy have wrong on that issue?
Yeah, there's no doubt the fact that when you think of the Constitution and the 14th Amendment, it was certainly written as it relates to slavery, not as it relates to illegal immigration. It's been applied to illegal immigration. So the challenge that we face is, in fact, one that has to do with whether or not
Tim's so happy they put a camera on him.
under the jurisdiction of our laws. And frankly,
These
if you
people
come
are going to
here
break
illegally,
me.
You are not. Now, surviving
You know what, Tim? Let me get some of them gummies.
Supreme Court argument is something I can't take.
I changed my mind.
From a
You got the right idea.
The Constitution, I think it's simple. That clearly it was designed for slavery and not for illegal immigration. I'll go one step further.
I wonder who runs all
We'll
those
have a conversation
businesses
about
that
the things that are happening on
exploit
this stage.
immigrant workers.
We think about the fact that Vivek just said we were all good people.
Probably a
And
bunch of
I appreciate
liberals.
that, because last debate,
Didn't
he said we
DeSantis
were all bought and
destroy
paid
his
for.
migrant
And I thought about that for a little
population
while
and then
and said, you know,
everything
I
went
can't
downhill?
imagine how you can say that knowing that you were just
There's
in
a
business
reason.
with the
They haven't
Chinese
figured it out
Communist
yet.
Party
Okay.
and
You know
the
what?
same
Let them
people
figure it
that
out for themselves.
funded Hunter Biden millions of dollars was a partner of yours as well.
Man.
Oh.
That's like
These are
Chuck
good
right
people who are tainted by a broken system, and it's not the fault of anybody who's
Why is he apologizing for himself?
He said you tainted,
Thank you
homie.
for speaking while I'm interrupting. While I'm speaking.
Well, you said
If I may
Biden
finish. If I may finish.
You can't be on both sides.
Just a shock.
Gentlemen, you'll
Just a
have your
little.
turn.
One of the challenges
If they touch their thing, they get shocked when they're talking. And they
Turn the
shouldn't.
mics off.
You know what, Tim? I agree.
If I may
I think
address
shock
Joe
causes.
Biden
Wow, they're loud.
question, I actually agree with Ron
When everybody
DeSantis.
speaks at the same time, no one can understand.
No one has ever
So
said
if I
that.
may, I agree with Ron DeSantis.
He said
on
exactly.
China.
That's why I'm
When
going to start
every
talking.
other CEO expanded into the Chinese market, you know what I did with my first company? We opened a subsidiary in China. But you know what I did that
stole
was
money from
different than
people?
every other company? We got the hell out
You
of there.
exploited
And when I
Chinese
started my
workers.
next
Right
company,
before you ran for
Strive, right when that's years ago.
2023.
Right when I started my next company, Strive, to compete against BlackRock. Excuse me.
No.
Oh, so you want to
BlackRock.
compete
I made
against
it
BlackRock?
that we would
Got
never
ya.
do business in China. And I will say something.
I
Yes.
think you have more than
This is
time
not
to
a
explain your
debate.
point.
Well, if I was
No.
interrupted by a lot of people here, and I want to be respectful because I believe these are good
respectful
people,
last
but
debate.
I
Here is
do
being
not
respectful.
believe in these.
He was not respectful last
Library.
Yes,
debate.
I wish you
In
did
the
not think it
honor
was
of
midnight
Ronald
in
Reagan's
America.
library, if I may, well, from one admirer
Uh-oh.
of Ronald Reagan
Cat
to
fight.
another,
I'm asking
from
you.
one
Get him,
admirer of
Tim.
Reagan to another, we cannot say
$5 as they get the blows. They start punching each other.
I got $10 on them making out.
policy debate.
What's going on?
Let us have a policy debate.
God, your forehead is so big.
Policy debate. And the right answer is we need to declare independence from China,
Thank you very
and I will
much.
see that through.
Vice President Pence, in 2017, the
Pence was like,
Trump
"Oh,
Pence
shit."
administration canceled DACA, which
What,
put the
me
legal
again?
status of
I just
600,000
went.
dreamers in the hands of the courts. Dreamers work and they pay taxes. As president, if the Supreme Court ends DACA, would you work with Congress to reach a permanent solution for dreamers?
Well, first, let
You
me
should
say
just
I'm
say
glad
no,
Vivek
because that's the
pulled out of his
answer.
business deal in 2018 in China. That must have been about the time you decided to start voting in presidential elections. So
Wow, they're all going after Vivek now.
voting in elections. So
He put himself out there.
speak to
You
this
gotta
issue.
attack
Number
the
one,
rights and stars.
I negotiated the Remain in Mexico policy with the Mexican government.
You monster.
We used economic power to bring the Mexican government to the table.
You
we built hundreds
monster.
of miles of border wall, and despite what's said here today, We reduced illegal immigration and asylum abuse by 90%. And as president of the
How do
United
you
States,
even
I
know
can do
that?
it again. And the truth is,
What he means is he put all those people into prison camps.
Right. You put them in cages.
First and foremost, a nation without borders is not a nation.
Children, I bet.
We have to secure the southern border of the United States
What
of
about the
America.
northern
I know
border?
How to
Not
do
worried
it.
about that, huh?
Again, let me say
out.
one other thing about
Heaven
China.
forbid somebody fly to
What about-
Canada
Say one other thing
and then
about
come
China.
over through
Expired
Canada.
visas.
Congress to
Yeah, the expired visas from
Anybody?
Europe.
to the problem
Yeah.
that Dreamers have right
Anybody?
now.
The expired
They are on a
visas?
limbo.
Anybody?
Well, let me tell you, I
That's
served in Congress for 12
illegal.
years, although it seemed longer. But you know, something I've done different.
Yeah, that's because
than
of your
everybody
vice
on this
presidency.
stage Is I've actually secured
You suck as a
reform
vice
in
president.
Congress. You know, Ron, you talk a really good game about cutting spending, but you've increased spending in Florida by 30%. When I was a member of Congress in 2006,
Man.
right after Hurricane Katrina,
Sanders,
Dana,
he's
you
got some
remember
heat
it,
tonight.
we stood our ground. I led
Shut
House
up, Tim.
Conservatives. We cut $100 billion
It's called committing
out
to the
of
bit.
federal
I love it.
budget. It can be done, but as I said in the last debate, I'll say again, this is no time for on-the-job training. I'm going to be ready on day one to get Congress to step up, secure
Bro,
the southern
half the
border of
people
the
in that
United
room were
States,
chanting for
build
your
a
death.
military
They are not
fitted
clapping.
to our times, and we're going to get spending in Washington, D.C. under control once and for all.
On the other side of this break, and I
Nobody
propose to go
clapped.
to a break. How will these candidates make America safer?
I gotta
rising
remind
crime
these people what
plagues
the
our
rules are.
cities? Debate
Sit down
night
and shut up.
continues
That's what I say.
in
That was
moments.
only the first 30 minutes.
All right. Well.
Wow.
That was
Whew. You know what I
That
realized?
was Star Spangled.
I have no weed in my system.
Oh boy.
Why?
I don't
Yeah,
have
some.
a-
Why
fix
is a
that.
good question.
You're just
Here, Mikey.
something.
Here, I'll share it with you, buddy.
I think the whole bag is what's gonna do.
Tim,
Man.
don't die on stream.
Ready for this?
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
Just like
No
Gandalf
problem,
there.
Jesus Christ.
Gandalf the Great.
Glandalf.
So guys, what do we think about the first portion of the debate? Who
We're
do you
all
think's
gonna
winning?
die.
Oh, fascism.
We're all gonna die.
We're all fucked.
I think there were. I think there were
if
strong
any
comments.
of those people get into office, you guys are fucked for sure. Yeah.
I think there were strong comments by Mike Pence, and Vivek. He
Bernie?
seemed really strong out there.
Yeah, Vivek has totally got his eye on the ball. He knows what's going on, and he's ready day one to fuck everything up.
He's ready to rewrite the Constitution.
Rewrite.
Hey, we're lucky if we have a constitution by the end of this.
Yeah, he's not gonna want us to have a constitution.
No, this is they're gonna erase everything.
He
Start-
did an
start
interview
fresh.
recently. I forget the name of the lady he did the interview with, but his comments about getting rid of birthright citizenship literally takes away his own.
Yep.
Yeah.
So would that then invalidate him from being president? Because
Oh,
the
that'd be-
law has been rescinded.
Well, then his
Oh.
vice would be the president.
Yeah.
He wants to go. He wants to go one step further. In fact, he wants to raise the voting age to 25, and have you take a citizenship test to earn your right to vote. He is literally doing fascism.
Tim,
and
you keep
you know
saying it
what?
like it's bad.
He should. You don't know. No Republican's going to pass a citizenship test.
Here's a question for a
Touche.
citizenship test. So let's say the age limit is 25 and you're 24 and you failed the citizenship test. Does that mean when you're 25 you automatically get to vote even though you failed the citizenship test?
What if my
Yes.
birthday's on No, I'm just kidding.
What about if you're 30 and you take the citizenship test and you fail? Does that mean you still get to vote?
No.
No.
No votey for Yui.
There's a lot of also there's amendment in the Constitution against
I-
that shit.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm fairly certain there's something in the Constitution that you can't take a test in order to vote.
Yes, you cannot have a test or a tax.
But if we get rid of that, since
And the black people can't
liberals,
vote anymore.
liberals are statistically far more educated than conservatives, they will lose more voters with this policy than they would ever gain.
I'm with that, but also I don't like our Constitution as it stands either. However, this seems like a pretty easy way for them to, just rob everyone of their rights. Sorry,
all
Brenna.
the
There you go.
minorities. All the minorities of the
Yeah.
right.
I'm getting you in there. I was working on it.
I know.
And hi everyone in the chat. We didn't really actually introduce ourselves. Welcome to Speaking from the Center. I'm Mikey, and I'm not the host. Tim, take it away.
I'm Tim. Welcome to Speaking from the Center. It's a show about politics and despair.
Woohoo! Despair.
We're watching
We're
the
all gonna
Republican
die.
presidential debate, where surprisingly Bernie Sanders is on the stage.
Yay.
Let me be
Switches
clear.
parties all the time.
He's gonna fix the country.
That's not Bernie Sanders.
Close enough.
He's gonna get rid of the million. Oh wait, he can't do that anymore.
Mikey, you can't
Billionaires.
hear it.
Mikey, turn on the words.
Mikey, we need the volume.
Mikey.
Oh no, he's not there.
Mikey.
Oh.
Oh no.
He goes now.
Mikey.
Mikey left.
He literally had
He
10
didn't,
minutes
he,
to do
did,
that.
he didn't unmute it.
No, Mikey.
I
Everything's on
assume.
fire, the clothes have been looted.
I
Look at that
assume her
apple store.
question is about, the cities, they're crime-ridden and there's
My
looting.
name's
The,
Chris
Chris
Christie.
the liberal cities,
And
the
I'm gonna
blue
eat a
cities
cake.
are being crime or there's criminals.
Chris
everywhere.
Christie, which bridge will you shut down to fix this?
Well, you see, I'm
Well,
gonna
you
shut down
see,
all bridges.
there's a bridge over here that goes to a cake shop, and I'm going to make sure that bridge stays open. I don't care about the other bridges.
Pretty sure they make this cake with weed.
The U.S.
I'm gonna
Attorney's
eat the
Office
cake.
in New Jersey, and we
There
set
you go.
records
And
for
we're
the number
back.
of prosecutions that we brought that still have not been broken.
I don't
And
know, I
the
like
reason
our
was that we
weed
went
cake
after the
dialogue.
crime that was affecting people's lives. And as president, I will appoint an attorney general and instruct that attorney general that you are to put all the resources that are necessary to bring our cities back under control. The fact is, they will be stretched. There's no doubt about that, but that's what they take the job for, because they love the idea of
I love a good
enforcing
stretch
law.
job.
We've got to bring law and order back to this country. And not just in our cities, but we need the law and order back everywhere. We need law and order back in our suburbs. People are threatened there. We need it in our rural areas. People feel threatened there.
A
And we
cop
need
on
it in
every
Washington,
corner.
D.C. also. And Donald
Shooting
Trump
all
should be
the
here to
minorities.
answer for that, but he's
Might
not.
as well,
And
instead
I
of
wanna look at
cops,
that camera right
just
now and
put
tell you, Donald, I know you're watching.
military
You can't
personnel
help
in every
yourself.
corner, and
I know
that'll
you're
solve all
watching,
your
okay? And you're not here tonight. Not
Oh,
because of
Trump-
polls,
Trump
and
drama.
not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your right. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Donald
Wow.
Prosecutors in your state, but it's
Look at her eyes.
Whack
Look at her
from the
eyes.
You would not have the ability to do that. How do you think
It's
about
scary
dealing with the
looking.
root causes of crime, especially this
It's a
revolving
witch.
door of the criminals? They just get out and come back and
Oh my
commit another
God.
crime.
Well, the crime in these cities is one of the strongest signs of the decaying of America. We can't be successful as a country if people aren't even safe to live in places like Los Angeles and San
Guys,
Francisco.
it's not white
Just
enough.
being in Southern
That's the problem with
California over the
America.
last couple of days, my wife and I have
Sorry.
met
White people
3
don't commit
people
crime.
who have been mugged on the street.
His
and
wife-
that would never
his wife and
happened
him met
10 or
3
20 years
people.
ago. In Florida, we back the blue. We support the men and women of law enforcement. They are keeping
heard
us
it
safe.
there.
We have
He
a
supports
50-year
Democrats in
low
Florida.
in the crime
Yeah,
rate.
he's a Democrat.
And yes, when I
Yeah,
had
he
2
backs blue
progressive
candidates in
prosecutors
Florida.
that weren't
Thanks,
following the
Ron.
law in Florida, I removed them from their post, and the people of Florida are safer as a result of it. As
No, they're
president,
not.
I
You
will
didn't want them
use the
investigating
Justice
you.
Department
Yeah.
to bring civil rights
That was a
cases
personal
against all of those
decision.
left-wing Soros-funded prosecutors. We're not going to let them get away with
Oh
it
my God,
anymore.
are
We
you-
want to
George
reverse this
Soros drink.
country's decline. We need to choose law and order over rioting and disorder.
Law and order, that's a
A
double.
related subject. Governor Haley.
He smiles
there's
so
a
creepy.
nationwide policing shortage. Retirements are up. Recruitment is in the tank.
Let's see if she talks
and the
about
morale
qualified
is
immunity.
at a record low. 3 years ago, you signed a pledge to
Big drink
support
if she
law
says
enforcement.
qualified
Now, pledges
Oh,
are a
I'll
nice
drink my
idea,
weed if she
but
says
what's
qualified
your actual
immunity.
plan to get more police on our streets?
Well, and I actually did it in South Carolina too. You know, what we knew in South Carolina was you take care of those who take care of you. We have to start taking
Jews
care
will
of law
not
enforcement,
replace
but
us.
it's
That was
not
in your
just
state,
taking care
right?
of them with words.
Yeah, that was in her
It's
state.
making sure that you also follow through on what
especially
they
like
do.
our military,
Right now,
we
have
take
a
care of them
lot
once they get home.
stolen guns
Yep.
on the street.
Don't
Well,
just
these
throw 'em
law
out
enforcement
like
officers,
fucking
they
empty
arrest
bags of
these
trash.
people, and then they go and they're let out the very next day. So law enforcement feels
Thanks
like they
for your
don't know one
service.
has
You
their
mean
back.
they're let out on the
We
bail
have to
system?
start prosecuting according
That's
to the
the law.
We have to make sure we have the backs of law enforcement, and we have to make sure that we're a country of law and order. But I want to go back to China because I don't think we spent enough time
When
on
they
that.
kill people,
right now,
we don't
have to look
investigate.
at what government's doing to hurt us against China too. You have a company, U.S. Antibiotics, that produces amoxicillin, the #1 antibiotic that we need. And right now, there is a company in Bristol, Tennessee, that produces that. Yet
Ooh, shoot,
our
I thought she was
federal
gonna say
government
Bristol,
only
Connecticut. I was
gives
like,
it to
no,
China.
Run, Tim, run.
We need to be focusing on companies
She's
that
found
produce
your
in America
location.
and supporting those companies that produce in America, not companies that are helping China.
Governor, we will be talking foreign policy later. Delia?
Yes, thank you, Stuart. We're going to stay in the topic of crime because it affects all of us.
Honestly, I like her
Governor Bergam,
birthmark.
for
I
the
find
first
it
time
endearing.
ever, a Univision poll found that mass
I have a
shootings
birthmark,
and
but
gun
mine's
safety
higher up my neck,
are
so.
one of the most important issues for Latino voters. Mental health
Holy
concerns
shit.
are not
God,
unique
he's rough on the
to the United
eyes.
States, but gun violence
scary.
is. What is your specific
What kind of
plan
smile
to
was that? It was
gun
like more like.
That's
what
that's
you taste like.
That's the, I bet you forgot to lock your back door.
Seems to be just completely bent on prosecuting law-abiding citizens that are gun owners, because every solution they have to this is take away the Second Amendment rights of Americans, and somehow that's going to solve the problem. But all these cities that we're talking about that you showed the videos of tonight, they have some of the strictest gun laws in the country. So we know that that's not what's working. What we have to do is get back to the core issues about the family. We have to get back to
Every Republican
behavioral health
state
and mental
bordering
health.
that
We've got to get
state
back to actually
doesn't
enforcing
regulate
the
guns
laws these
ever.
people talked about.
And then you're
like we've
surprised
done
they
in
get
North
snuck
Dakota,
into
where
those states
we've got
that
the goal
regulate it.
and we're on the track.
Yeah, I
to
don't
be
know
the
why
most
Chicago's having
military-friendly
such a
state in the
problem with
nation.
Wisconsin
We've
and
got the
Northwest
most
Indiana
military
right
and
across
most
the border,
support of
literally
all
less than an
Americans
hour
law enforcement,
away.
Because
You go buy a
the
pack of beer and
morale
they
is
give you a
down
gun for
because
free.
we've been defunding the police
Indiana, yeah,
because
for
they've
sure.
been attacked in the press. The
You get
police
a
have
free
become
gun
the bad
and
guys.
fireworks.
There's all these jobs available in America. Why would you be a policeman if
Now,
people don't even respect them? Every
fireworks
time
from
I
your
see a
gun.
policeman, the first thing I say is thank you. And so does everybody
I'm
else
a
in my
cop
family
because I
and
want people to
most of the people
respect
in our
me.
state, because they know we have to respect the people that are out there defending
Maybe
us
they
every
should
single
start
day.
respecting teachers.
Maybe they shouldn't need respect to make their PP feel good at the end of the day.
90% of fentanyl is seized.
Tim, you
official border
motherfucker,
crossings.
quit fucking
And
doing that.
57% of the smugglers are U.S. citizens. How would you stop fentanyl brought into the country, mostly by U.S. citizens, through ports of entry?
There's two sides to this, and we have to be very honest about it. One is
We only
do
care
have
about
to
the one
seal that
side.
southern border.
We don't care
Building
about the
the
other
wall is not enough.
If they're white,
they're building
they're fine.
cartel-financed
Yeah.
tunnels underneath
That's
that wall.
prescription-grade
Semi-trucks can
fentanyl.
drive through them. We have to
Hey,
use our own military to
it's
seal
good
the
for
Swiss
the
cheese of the southern
economy.
border. But we also have to be honest.
You want to talk
There's
about
a
job creation?
demand-side problem in this country too.
Motherfuckers
A
selling
mental health
fentanyl.
epidemic.
Goddamn, I can't do
I
nothing.
met family in Iowa. Two parents,
Fentanyl
Kathy
problem
and Derek.
actually
They
driven by
lost
white
their son
people.
Sebastian,
Oh, then it's
17
fine.
years
Let's
old.
just-
He bought Percocet
it's
on
healthy.
Snapchat. And then he died.
Fentanyl
Why did he
wouldn't have
die?
been a
Because it was
problem because
laced
of
with
opioid
fentanyl.
buy-offs.
That is closer to bioterrorism, not a drug overdose. That is poisoning. So it is our job to make sure that never happens. But it's also our job to make sure that 17-year-olds don't turn to Percocet via Snapchat. We have to bring back mental
What are you
health care
talking
in this
about?
country. Not with pumping pharmaceuticals,
Bring it
but
back.
with
We've
faith-based
never had
approaches
it.
that restore purpose
Faith-based?
and meaning in the next generation
Negro,
of
you
Americans.
as an
Many
Indian.
of them are getting it through social media. And this isn't a
Negro,
Republican point
you
or a
as an
Democrat
Indian. Do
point.
not
But
tell
if
me
you're
about
16 years old
Christianity
or
right now.
under, you should not be using an addictive social media product, period. This is something
You
that
should
we
not
can
be using
both
hair
agree on,
product,
and we can
period.
revive both the mental
I'm
health
sorry,
of this
but
country
did that
while
one
stopping the
song
fentanyl
just
epidemic that will
went
kill
on,
more people
TikTok.
this year than who
He just
died
started
on 9/11. And I
TikTok,
refuse
so-
to be
Barely
a
hear ya.
passive bystander sitting in the White House like the hollowed out
Vivek
husk of
went
the current
on
president
TikTok.
we have.
Started
We will
a
step up
TikTok.
and address this problem to
he did?
stand for Americans.
Because he wants
and our
China to have
children.
all of his data.
Social media. This guy knows nothing about social
That is why everything
talking
he
about
said I agree with. That
Snapchat.
is
He
why,
uses
as Commander-in-Chief,
Snapchat.
I'm going to use the U.S. military to go after the Mexican drug cartels. They are killing our people. And the
We're
stories
gonna
that
invade
I've seen in
Mexico
Florida,
day
we had
one.
an
We're gonna
infant,
invade
18
Mexico,
months,
exactly,
parents
yeah.
rented an Airbnb. and apparently the people that had rented it before were using drugs. The infant was crawling, the toddler was crawling on the carpet and ingested fentanyl residue and died. Are we just going to sit here and let this happen, this carnage happen in our country? I am not going to do that. So I guarantee you on day one, this border is going to be a day one issue for me as president. We're going to declare
it's like when people say, yeah, I once saw a text message with fentanyl in the picture. Oh, man. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Like the foreign terrorist organizations that they are.
Don't look at her. Ooh.
Pence, we're going to move on to a different issue. Hold on, sir. Vice President Pence.
Just
last month, Vice President Pence.
Makeup's too dark for your eye color.
If elected, you would repeal all Obamacare mandates. However, you also made that same promise in 2016. And at that time, Trump-Pence had congressional majorities for at least the first 2 years. And you did not deliver on that promise. So Obamacare right now
look at that face. I didn't.
Than ever. Why should Americans trust you if you become president to fix that? Or is Obamacare here to stay?
Mother trusts me.
Well, first, let me speak to the mass shootings issue, and then I'll answer that question. It's an important one.
People of America, let me be very clear.
Look, I'm someone that believes that justice delayed is justice denied. And as a father of 3, as a grandfather
and Mike,
of 3
remember the
beautiful
gallows?
girls,
I do.
I am sick and tired of these mass shootings happening in the United States of America. And if I'm president of the United States,
they were chanting, "Hey, Mike Pence."
Hey, Mike Pence. We're going to pass a federal expedited death penalty for anyone involved in a mass shooting so that they will meet their fate in months, not years.
Oh,
it is
what a great way.
That
Go ahead.
Parkland shooter, Ron, is actually going to spend the rest of his life behind bars in Florida. That's not justice. We have to mete out justice and send a message to these would-be killers that you are not going to live out your days behind bars. You're going to meet justice in this system.
But does that mean Obamacare is here to stay?
There you go.
Well, thank you for reiterating the question because I'd love to answer it. Look, I think it's one of the choices here. You know, my former running mate, Donald Trump, actually has a plan to start to consolidate more power in Washington, D.C., consolidate more power in the executive branch. If I'm president of the United States, it's my intention to make the federal government smaller by returning to the states those resources and programs that are rightfully theirs under the 10th Amendment of the Constitution. That means all Obamacare funding, all housing funding, all HHS funding, all of it goes back to the states. We'll shut down the Federal Department of Education. Will allow states to innovate. We're going to revive federalism in America, and states are going to help bring America back.
Stu, go ahead.
May I remind everyone to keep within their time frame so that we can get as many questions in as possible. This question for Governor
Alex,
DeSantis.
I'm going to talk about Project 2025 on Thursday.
Don't have insurance.
I was going to talk about it tonight, but I forgot about the debate.
2.5 million
I just saw a video on it this morning.
in your state.
Have you seen anything about that, Mark?
Worse than the national average. Can Americans trust
Project
you on this?
2025?
Well, I think this is a symptom of our overall economic decline.
Give it a quick
Everything has
Google
gotten
in the
more
background.
expensive.
You will be horrified.
See insurance rates are going through the roof. People that are going to get groceries. I spoke with a woman in Iowa.
Okay.
She said, you know, for the first time in my life, I'm having to take things out of my grocery cart when I get to the checkout line because the total goes up so quickly. So this is very real, and people are hurting out there. So we've got to address the underlying problem with Bidenomics, the overspending, taking all Biden's rules and regulations. I'm going to throw them in the trash can on day one. You're not going to have to worry about that. We're going to open up all of our energy. We will be energy dominant in this country. That will lower your gas prices. And what we need to do with healthcare is recognize our healthcare is putting patients at the back of the bus. We have big pharma, big insurance, and big government, and we need to tackle that and have more power for the people and the doctor-patient relationship.
Governor, why is your record in Florida on insurance worse than the national average?
Our state's a dynamic state. We've got a lot of folks that come. Of course, we've had a population boom. We also don't have a lot of welfare benefits in Florida. You know, we're basically saying this is a field of dreams. You can do well in the state, but we're not going to be like California and have massive numbers of people on government programs without work requirements. We believe you work
because they're all
and you got to do that,
and
so that goes for all the welfare benefits. And you know what that's done, Stuart? Our unemployment rate is the the lowest amongst any big state. We have the highest GDP growth amongst any big state. And even CNBC, no fan of mine, ranked Florida the #1 economy in America.
We're moving on.
Oh yeah, I reread it. I had heard about that.
Healthcare is the leading cause of bankruptcy for American families, accounting for 2/3 of all personal bankruptcies. As president, how do you protect Americans who get sick from financial ruin?
First of all, how can we be the best country in the world and have the most expensive health care in the world? We have an issue.
give your
was
friends
in the
fucking
hospital,
question
and when she was in the hospital, they tried to bring her a couple of Tylenol, and she said, "I don't need it." And they said, "Honey, go ahead and take it because you're paying for
Bernie
it anyway."
Sanders has really
Why
changed.
is it that when we got the bill, the insurance company and the hospital negotiated the bill for her without her having anything to do with it? When I am president, we will break all of it, from the insurance company to the hospitals to the doctor's offices to the PBMs to the pharmaceutical companies. We will make it all transparent, because when you do that, you will realize that's what the problem is. Second thing is you've got to deal with tort law. The doctors don't give you the 10 tests because they want to. It's because of the 90% chance they'll get sued. And then we need to bring competition back to
we should get rid of malpractice?
Get rid of certificate of need systems and make sure that they can compete. We have to put the patient in the driver's seat. They've been in the back seat for way too long. And once we give the patient the ability to decide their health care, deciding which plan they want, that is when we will see magic happen. But we're going to have to make every part of the industry open up and show us where their warts are, because they all have them, and we need to fix this on behalf of the American people.
Do you have a better way in 30 seconds?
Well, yes, we're not talking about the real problem ever. We talk about why do we have the most expensive health care in the world. It's because the federal government got involved the same way they did with EVs, and they said, we're going to subsidize a particular kind of software back in 2008 under Obama, and they said, hey, we're going to do this. It's going to make everyone more productive. All of you that are watching have been to a doctor's office when the doctor's got his back to you and their hands on a keyboard. The only industry in the world that's ever absorbed $1 trillion of IT and became less productive, they saw less patients per day, is U.S. healthcare, because they were subsidizing a certain kind of technology. It wasn't about improving healthcare. It was about picking winners and losers. Every time the federal government's involved, whether it's higher education, healthcare, or now the auto industry, things get more expensive and less competitive.
You know what happens when you go to sleep and your phone updates overnight? Education in America. What's the government's role in finding a way forward? The second Republican debate rolls on from Simi Valley.
All right, I'm gonna go
An informed patriotism is what we want.
Oh, your old racist piece of shit, ugly, nasty, fuckface ass is not getting any fucking more time on this fucking channel. You piece of shit fucking monster. I wish you would have got shot 13 more times and all in the fucking face. You fucking monster.
You can't talk that way to Bernie Sanders.
Fuck Ronald Reagan. He can suck my fucking dick.
Yeah, but he could wear the shit out of a fucking cowboy hat.
He can't. He's dead.
He's super dead.
Digging up graves.
He's dead.
Who the fuck is that guy?
A guy who sold his eyebrows for fame.
He's a white guy. Just
kind of looks like he wants to be Donald Trump Jr.
I would like to address a grievance I have with Tim.
Yeah, what happened?
Tims are awful.
Tim, you're not allowed to turn your camera off. You know the rules.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then I couldn't even yell at you because you weren't even there. I was like, God,
yeah, I had to go let my dogs out.
No, let them pee on the
Leave
floor.
the camera on.
Yeah, I got mine out here in a minute too.
All right, I'm gonna go imbibe. Okay. I went out there and
don't go. Just go because you're gonna be late. Just go. Go.
You're right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Nobody
Don't
wants
make
to see
us
his
get the
face
space lasers.
Shoot him with your space lasers.
Space laser. Anybody learn anything new tonight so far?
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
That fucking governor from the Dakotas. What the fuck is in his brain? I don't understand the words he says. Like
he's from North Dakota. He doesn't have a brain.
Okay.
The people that want to lead the Republican Party are fairly evil.
The people in the Republican Party are fairly evil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, okay.
I mean, they're more evil.
But they're not even trying to hide it anymore, though.
They're telling them exactly. They're saying exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, they're saying the quiet part out loud now.
They want to destroy the government from the inside.
Let them.
And the parts that they don't want to destroy are the parts that are most oppressive to non-white people. Like the cops.
It does seem like they want to get rid of all the good things and just keep the stupid shit.
Well, and now they especially have to say the quiet parts out loud is because Donald Trump has corrupted the far-right base, which is the base that votes in their primaries. So to have any chance on winning the nomination, they have to be as crazy or crazier than him. And without that, they don't have a chance. And
I don't know. There's definitely
Christie's the only one that seems to buy into it the least, but even he has said he's not saying great things either. So
no, they're all embracing fascism.
They have to. That's exactly where the party is going. If you can't embrace the fascism, it's not going to work out for you, because that's where the loudest people are. Yep. Doesn't mean that the majority of people are there. It's the loudest people who are there.
I would say
that's dangerous.
It's not even the majority of Republicans that I think are extreme fascists. I don't think they are, but like you said, their base, their hardcore, always votes in primary base, are now insane.
Mm-hmm. One more production note. If you guys can click the caret on your microphones. If you have any volume controls, if you can maybe lower your noise cancellation, maybe that's on high.
Mine's on auto.
I need more volume from you guys. Like, I can't pump you up artificially anymore. I need more from you.
My noise cancellation is off.
Hold on, let me see if I can change the setting.
I just want to hear your fucking voice.
I'll just get right in close for you again, Mikey,
if that's
what you want.
Get up in there.
Oh, baby.
Get up in there.
I can't, because mine's on a little stand. So
we gotta get you a boom arm.
It doesn't work on this. I do have a boom arm, and it doesn't work on this. The desk. Right. The desk is not set up to grip the little the little gripper. It's way in the corner, and I've already tried it, and that's when it was over on this side. Remember, Mikey?
Oh yeah, and then you were far away still.
I could not. Yeah. This is the only way right now that I can do it, because of the way this desk is. And
all right.
So I gotta buy you a desk.
I had to murder people in order to get this desk.
The debate has returned.
And we're back.
Lower scores in math and reading. There's chronic absenteeism. That's at record highs. And this has even been called education homicide.
So you can just
you say school choice is the answer, but South Carolina, your home state, still has not enacted universal school choice, and even the current expansion won't be fully implemented until 2027. Parents can't wait 4 years for a fix. So what would you do right now?
Well,
by the way, these are the most leading questions
ever.
Yeah, we're really trying to help them.
Choice in South Carolina. What I'll tell you, first of all, is we have to acknowledge the fact that 67% of our 8th graders are not proficient in reading or math. Over 80%
Doesn't that
of our
sound
8th
like your
graders
fucking
aren't proficient
problem?
in history or civics. And recently
Joe
they came out
Biden
and said our 12
Joe
and
Biden should have
13-year-olds
been over there.
are scoring at the lowest levels they've been
Jimothy
scoring
Biden.
in reading and math in decades. So the first thing we've got to do
That
is we've
sounds
got to
like
make sure
your
we
problem,
catch our
Governor,
kids back
the
up.
state.
We have to make sure they can read. A child that
State
can't read by 3rd
education
grade
is
is 4
based on
times less
state.
likely to graduate high school.
It's
We need to
not
do
based
reading
on the
remediation. We need
national
complete
education system.
transparency in the
It's state.
classroom. No
So what
parent should ever know
happens
what's
is
being
that
said
the
or taught to their
state
child
is
in
in
the
charge
classroom.
of
We need to make
education.
sure that we have school choice
And if
so
the
that there's
state is
competition.
doing
We
bad
need to
at
move all the
education,
programs from the
it's the
federal
state's
government
problem.
down to the
Word.
states and let states decide what
So
education
all the
looks
federal
like in their
money that they're
states.
giving
And
for
we
the
need
states to
start
control
building
their
things in
own
America again. Let's
education,
put vocational
they're
classes
fucking
back
up.
in our high schools
And so we need to stop giving them money to make them be better.
When we start to focus on that
No,
and
they
really
need
bring
more-
in that parental involvement,
Yes.
that's when we'll start to see a difference. But we've got to get parents
You know what
back
they need?
included.
Stop
We've gotta
hiring
quit
stupid
spending time
people
on
to
this
distribute their
DEI
money.
and CRT
Ah.
and instead focus on financial literacy,
But
on
more
digital
bureaucracy is
literacy,
good.
and on making sure that our
There we
kids
go.
know
How
what
about
they
good
need to do
bureaucracy?
to have the jobs.
Tim's getting
Yeah.
high. Wake up, Tim.
Intelligent use of.
No, I'm at the despair part of the show.
Oh, don't get no. Come on, we gotta bring him back. Come on, guys, bring him back. He's getting sad. Don't get sad, Tim. We gotta.
Weed, dude.
Tim, we'll play Halo, Tim.
We're gonna play
It's
Halo
okay,
right
Tim.
after this, buddy. Husky Raid's back, and they got the super weapons in there.
9 points lower than
Husky
white
super
students
weapons.
in New Jersey. Would you address minorities first?
Team Nate.
You have to address all students. And look, in our state,
Oh.
Stuart, frankly,
All students matter.
Before I was governor, that gap was close to 50%.
Gotcha.
Said it
And
before
what we
me.
did was institute more charter
Performance-enhancing
schools and
drugs.
more Renaissance schools,
All drugs
and more
matter.
public school choice in New Jersey.
I need that shirt.
With innovative solutions.
You know what? I'm
in
gonna
cities
start
like
fucking
Camden,
making graphic
where
tees.
now we took what was the worst school districts in America.
We need to.
During
Let's
my
do
time,
it.
and we
And I
have
need a
now
fucking side
increased
hustle.
that by nearly 40%.
I need
in terms of
somebody
their
who could do
proficiency. It
graphics.
can be done when you give
I
people
can,
choice.
but it takes me a long time.
Let's tell the truth
Okay.
to everybody about what
Let's
this
work on
is.
something.
I'm gonna need a
This
15%
public school
residual
system is
on
no
that
longer
all
run
drugs
by
matter
the
shirt.
public. It is run by the teachers
You know what that?
unions in this
You know what that
country.
residual does? It
Randy
means our bills are
Weingarten
paid, so we can
and
actually
her
keep the
crew
money we make every month.
are
Whoa.
absolutely struggling. They are
Instead of it going
taking
to
the
another
worst
fucking
of their
company.
members and defending them
Chris
rather than
Christie is
advocating
going
for
back
our
to his old
kids.
tactics
And
of
when you
attacking
have the
of
President
attacking
of the United States
teachers unions
sleeping
who
with
don't
a
like
member of
him.
the teachers union,
There you
there
go.
is no chance that you could
Well,
take the
especially, like, my
stranglehold
aunt
away
was
from the
a
teachers
fucking
union every
teacher
day. They have an
for
advocate
45
inside the White House every
years.
day for the worst of their teachers, not
She
for
was like
our
one of the
students
best
to be
English
the best
teachers
they
ever,
can
and
be.
it
The
bothers
President
me
of
when
the
I hear
United
them,
States
like you
to
said,
take on the
attack
teachers
teachers
union. I
unions.
did it in
Because
New
it just
Jersey, and
they're like
I come
attacking
from
my
a-
family members.
I come from a long line of teachers.
Yeah.
I am a teacher. It's
Cheers
very
to you.
important.
Remember,
It's very.
Hey! We're gonna pause the stream for the first time ever. First
Bye.
time ever. One in the air for the teachers, y'all. One in the air for the fucking teachers.
Respect
live
your
the teachers.
teachers.
Feel the burn.
Give them coffee in the morning and bring them a bottle of wine. That's the way that you appreciate a teacher.
Skull
And pay
And-
them.
Well,
Pay them.
and then pay them and
Slaves develop
Help
skills
out.
Chris
which
Christie
in
can
some
go fuck
instances
himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa. We're on the slave question. Hold on.
You have said slaves develop skills in spite of slavery, not because of it. But many are still hurt. For the
Talk about
descendants
that
of
shit,
slaves,
DeSantis.
this is personal. What is your message to them?
So first of all, that's a hoax that was perpetrated by Kamala Harris. We are not going to be
Whoa,
doing
wow.
that. Second of all, that was written by descendants of slaves. These are great Black history scholars.
Oh,
so we
there
need
it
to
is.
stop playing these games.
Oh,
Here's the
wow.
deal. Our country's
Black people
education
did
system
it
is
to
in decline
themselves.
because it's focused on indoctrination,
There it
denying parents' rights. Florida represents the revival of American education. We're ranked #1 in the nation in education by U.S.
America
News and World
Re-Education.
Report. My wife and I, we have a 6, 5, and 3-year-old. This is
Wait,
personal
what?
to us. We
Florida
didn't just
is
talk
ranked
about universal
first.
school
You have a
choice. We
6'5"
enacted universal
3-year-old?
school choice. We didn't just talk about Parents' Bill of Rights. We enacted the Parents' Bill of Rights. We eliminated critical
parents.
race theory, and we
It's
now
all that
have
it's all that,
American civics and the
GMOs.
Constitution
swamp
in our
monster
schools in a
baby
really
you got.
big way, just like President Reagan asked for in his farewell address back in 1989. Florida is
Alzheimer's.
showing
He didn't
how
know what
it's
he was
done.
saying.
We're standing with parents,
my
and our kids are
grandson?
benefiting.
Senator Scott, you oppose to these new standards.
Jimmy, are you
What
there?
is your message for Governor DeSantis?
There is not.
I
There
hate
is
this
not a
country.
redeeming quality in slavery. He and Kamala should have just taken the
black
sentence out. America has suffered because of slavery, but we've overcome that. We are the greatest nation on earth because we faced our demons in the mirror
This just
and
proves
made a decision.
all Tims are
so
evil.
often we think that
Yeah.
all the issues, you talked
solo
about
good
crime and education and healthcare, we always think that those issues go back to slavery.
Look,
here's the challenge.
If
though.
I
Black
was
families
forced to hang
survived
out with a
slavery.
Tim
We
for
survived
24
poll
hours, it
taxes
was
Listen,
and
we're the worst.
literacy tests.
We're
We
the worst.
survived
There are no good
discrimination
Tims
being
out
woven into
there.
the
There's
laws
one.
of our country.
There's
What was
one.
hard to
There's one,
survive
Tim.
was
One
Johnson's Great
substantial.
Society, where they
Tim,
decided
I would hang out
to
with you.
put money where they decided to take the black father out of the household to get a check in the mail, and you can now measure that in unemployment, in crime, in devastation.
Well, Mikey, I'm going to have to ask for a rewind because he just said some crazy shit.
Capitalism and put Americans back at work together as one American family. Our nation continues to go in the right direction. It's why I can say I have been discriminated against, but America
he was white-splaining some shit about fathers and African Americans.
Never ever doubt who we are. We are the greatest country.
Nigga, shut your ass up.
And frankly, the city on the hill needs a brand new leader, and I'm asking for your vote.
I'm going to have a question for you, Mr. Ramaswamy. Over 10.7 million students in over 18,000 public schools nationwide have the ability to change their identity without parental notification.
Don't have rights.
Governor Christie told Stewart last week that he would pass a federal law to protect parental rights. Would you try to do the same?
I have to be very clear about this. Transgenderism, especially in kids, is a mental health disorder. We have to acknowledge the truth of that for what it is. I met two young women early in this campaign.
On parental rights in schools.
Parents have the right to know. And you know what the hypocrisy of this is? Even New Hampshire failed to actually get past a piece of legislation here. The very people who say that this increases the risk of suicide are also the ones saying that parents don't have the right to know about that increased risk of suicide. And I'm sorry, it is not.
Do you think they have an increased risk of suicide?
Did this fucker just say what I heard him say?
That is cruelty.
This guy's a
two young
fucking
women, Chloe and
jackhole.
Katie, early in this campaign, who are in their 20s, now regret getting double mastectomies and a hysterectomy. One of them will never have children.
What is
and
happening?
The fact that we allowed that to happen in this country is barbaric. So I will ban genital mutilation or chemical castration under the age of 18, and parents have absolutely the right.
Would you try to pass a federal law that says parents should have that right?
We are going to require states absolutely have to follow that through.
And there you go, motherfuckers. That is what fascism looks like. When the fucking queers told you that motherfuckers were trying to push this shit through, this is the Republican debates. He's not polling at zero. Fascism. He's not polling at zero. We're not being dramatic. We're not overreacting. Do you hear us now? Sorry, I paused.
No, that's okay.
No, he's saying some wild shit.
You, in your state, you do not have a law that says parents can't be notified. But you want to be president. Would you try to pass a federal law to say parents have that right?
I think this is a state's issue, but I do want to say something, because all night long we've been talking about issues about how it's broken in Washington, and I respect public service. Thank you. But the reason why we're not talking about education or health care or safety being a problem in North Dakota is because we have a business leader.
Because
I've got
nobody
more experience
fucking lives in
as
North
a business
Dakota.
leader than I think this whole group combined. I know I've created more jobs than everybody else on stage, thousands of high-paying jobs that have real meaning. So as a business leader, you come in and you treat the taxpayer like a customer. So in North Dakota, instead of fighting with the teachers' unions, we actually created a K-12 coordinating council. Everybody gets in the room, and the customer is the student.
But you do understand that this is an issue that many people in America really are concerned about, worried about parents
Listen to how quiet
and notification
we are
in
because
schools.
we're so fucking mad at
and that's
that guy.
why we have 50 platforms of innovation. That's
so
why we have states. There are certain things
I'm-
the federal government is supposed to do.
I can't even
It's not
believe
the
it.
Department of Education that needs to be
Like,
assembled.
I'm
We got to move
almost
back
to
to
the
states.
point where,
Do
like,
what we
we
did in
should
North Dakota.
not
Instead
watch
of like,
this
oh, here's
anymore
a
and we
choice
should go
school and
watch
here's an old
something.
school, the old way with the
Make
teachers union, the kids are trapped. We made every school in North Dakota.
Do we want to take a break? We can take a break.
Got out from under the red tape, and the things that
Yeah, can we pause it for a few minutes and then
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Just yell.
Oh,
We'll take a break.
and please take him off the screen.
Thank you.
Oh, he's on this one too.
Oh, he's back.
Oh
He's
God!
everywhere.
Why? He's on all the screens.
All right, yeah, let's just do it this way. I'll go back to this one, and then we will.
I'm tiny. Look how tiny I am.
I don't know what's going on. Everyone's internet is pooping right now.
Tiny too.
My internet is not pooping. I am hardwired in, brother.
Your internet.
Hey, buddy. Easy. Easy. Hey, back.
All of the gummies in the world could not relieve my despair.
And the fact that the fucking assholes were sitting there clapping for him.
It's unbelievable.
All right. Why are all your cameras fucked up? What happened here?
I didn't do it.
Ramaswamy is currently polling at 6.3%, by the way.
Yeah, that's
not nothing.
That's 6.3% of millions of people.
That is not nothing.
When was the first debate?
A month ago. Almost exactly a month ago.
4 weeks ago. Britta has taken over. All right, let me fix this.
So around that debate, he shot up to over 10%.
Yeah.
So like, I'll be interested to see what his polling says after this again, because apparently 10% of the base loves full-on fascism now.
Like, he just said to a national televised audience that transgenderism is a mental disorder.
Yeah.
That needs to be solved. That's what he said. And I'm pretty sure his solution is pretty final.
Well, his solution, at least within the question, was that parents need to be notified whether or not their children identify as something else.
Which violates
HIPAA.
So many rights.
All of the rights.
And not only that, but like it's to stop any type of gender affirming care, which, by the way, it's not about trans kids, it's about children in general. And it's about human beings in general. Like, we need to start thinking about other human beings as other human beings.
Well, let's play into their playbook for a second.
Okay.
These are American citizens.
Yeah.
They have rights under the Constitution.
No, they don't. What Constitution?
And it's funny that the Constitution, even though they're in the Reagan fucking dick sucking hallway or whatever the fuck it is, the Reagan kneeling staircase, whatever the fuck,
the whitest other house.
Yeah, the ball curdling soft pillow for their knees.
Thanks, guys. This is California.
Whatever the fuck that building is called.
It's that's.
Brother, if you are not walking your neighbor's dogs to go pee on that building every day, then you have failed as a friend. That is the worst building, and that is the worst place. Like, I am so mad. I am so mad.
We don't have anything but Republican presidential libraries in California because we don't have presidents that come from California.
You got one.
Yeah, you got one.
We have a vice. We have a vice president.
No, you got a Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
I said Republican.
He is
so,
a Republican.
Yeah, I said all we have is Republican president.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So we have Nixon, who also has his library here in California. And then we have Ronald Reagan, is also in California. We do not have Democrats here.
So California is the problem.
We found it. Found you hiding beneath all that smoke and fire.
Shame.
All that, economy that we have.
Fifth largest economy in the world.
Well, you haven't been listening because it's fourth, but whatever.
Well, Mikey, I think we need to do the opposite. We need to start taking all the conservatives' rights away. See how they like it. And use the laws against them when Democrats are in power.
The funny thing is, we wouldn't have to do any of this at all if motherfuckers would register to fucking vote and go vote. They don't have the numbers. Y'all are being lazy.
Yeah, they really don't have the numbers.
They don't.
Like, as I've done more and more political streaming, dude, they do not have the numbers. Show up.
Well,
do not wait.
And that's exactly why they're trying to prevent people from voting.
Yeah.
Especially minorities, especially young people, because those are the people who vote consistently. Black women are the most educated, most consistent voters block. And what are they trying to do to them? Completely destroy their ability to vote.
Yep. All the polling locations get moved last minute, or they have funky hours, or they just
you have to have an ID, but you can't have just an ID. You have to have a driver's license or a government
and a piece of mail to verify you live somewhere.
Yeah.
Blue States, Connecticut has all those voter ID laws and more. Also, because remember the scandal we talked about with the mayor of Bridgeport stuffing ballot boxes? Well, now the Republicans who in the state assembly want to get rid of all the ballot boxes because they're all fraudulently, obviously.
So good. Now everyone physically has to get to the polling location. They can't just drop their votes off.
Yeah, and until last year, Connecticut was one of the only states that didn't have early voting. All we had was same-day voting.
Really?
I mean...
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that out of fucking Connecticut.
2024 will be the first year that we have early voting.
So I saw this meme. I saw this meme that it was like, if it says, you know, you vote for Joe Biden in 2024 so you can vote for somebody else in 2028. You vote for Trump in 2024, you never vote again.
Because I don't see them as wanting to pass those rings. That whole Putin deal over there looks pretty sweet. Like they get to keep the same guy. Huh.
Yep.
I think we like that.
They'll just change it so they can nominate their successor.
So you have to think about this. If you want to vote again, vote for Biden. It just do it. And then vote in 4 years for whomever you damn well choose.
No. Vote in 2 years to actually vote for somebody who's going to do something in your district, in your borough.
Year.
Vote every year, every primary, every fucking school board, every county seat,
sheriff,
every Treasury Secretary's assistant.
Google them. It takes 5 seconds to fucking Google somebody who's on that ballot and figure out what they're about.
All in November.
November. So there's some major voting day in November. The first. So there's rights on the ballot. You have to vote. It may not be a voting year, but you need to vote.
I didn't talk to you guys about this, but I'm gonna say it on the air, and we're gonna do it because I'm gonna say it out loud. So we're gonna do it.
Okay.
We're gonna start making shorts. Let me go full screen here. Let's go full Mikey cam. All right.
Is this for the channel or is this just specifically for Speaking from the Center?
The network. The network. Okay. We're gonna start doing this, and I'm gonna make the Europeans do it too, even though it doesn't matter.
They do vote.
We're gonna start. They don't vote here,
but they do vote in their own, and
in their weird countries with their weird elections.
They have a system of voting. It's just not the same system we have.
Until they start putting ballot boxes up in trees, Shartan is not voting anytime soon because he is. And then Wayne, unless they have like a place that needs a hole in it and there happens to be a voting box there, he's too busy. He's got paperwork. He's just not.
He actually has to drill the holes in order to get to the vote.
He drills the hole in the vote. Like instead of filling in circles, he drills a hole in it.
Anywho,
those little yeah. So,
but we're gonna be putting out reminders to get registered and links for how to get registered. And this Project 2025 thing, we're going to be sending you guys links. So please, if you're new around here, hit the follow button, hit subscribe. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, Twitch, we're not making any money off of. We're doing everything over here and everything on Patreon. So
Tim, you are required to any.
Wait, it's only me on camera. You got to let me finish my thing because they're only looking at me. So we're going to put all that stuff out. And if you guys need individual, like you can DM me, I won't dox you or anything like that. If you'd like, I'm in Northwest Indiana. Where's the closest place for me? And I will fucking go online myself and I will print out. I will copy and paste. I will get all the links you need. If you need an Uber ride, we can start a fund to get people Ubers. If you need a ride, whatever you need, we will be that resource because I'm sick of the bullshit. In general, like trying to start a channel and trying to build a network and trying to put out positive, uplifting, factual information to people when this is going on.
Yeah, minus the debates.
So I'm not really interested in us making money right now. I'm not really interested in us growing as a channel. We're putting out PSAs.
We're interested in not the downfall of democracy.
Yeah, the channel is like, because I know a lot of people they make their funny stuff and they make this and that. We're gonna do that too. but we're definitely going to reprioritize getting Americans in the fucking voting box. And if you guys have other channels and you guys want to do stuff with us, by all means, all my DMs are open on everything. At Mikey Famine on anything you got, and I got that. Let me know if you want to collab, but in the meantime, I think we owe it to them, guys. We got to go back.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about this later. I think there's
and one little golden ray of sunshine.
Oh boy.
Out of the last 30 special elections in the last few weeks, Democrats took 24 of the 30 different positions. Mm-hmm. So people are trending in the right direction.
Yeah. And with all the gerrymandering and shit like that, like it's gerrymandered based on the numbers that they have now.
Yeah. And if Democrats are still winning now, fucking push hard now.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get so much worse in the next few years if people don't give a shit.
Like they're trying to put us in a sleeper lock, and we have to put all of our effort into breaking their hands apart. Like it's 2 against 1 right now. We cannot get choked out. We cannot.
Put that pressure on the knee.
All right, let's see what fucking Dr. Finkelstein has to say.
Scores in the country right now.
Who is murdering people in his own country and now not having enough blood.
Who are we talking about?
Putin.
What about Donald?
Yeah. Kidnap 20,000 children.
Bernie, no.
Let me tell you, if you think
Donald
that's where
Trump
it's going to stop,
Bernie, 20,000
if we give him any of Ukraine, next will be Poland. This is a guy who said, wait one sec. This is a guy
Bro, don't roll it into Don't roll into Poland.
The darkest moment
you can't do that.
When the Soviet Union fell. Listen, everybody, he wants to put the old band back together, and only America can stop it. And when I'm president, we will.
Governor Burgum, I want to get to Governor Burgum. He hasn't had a chance.
Well, I mean, we're a big help.
Really like.
Let Bernie Sanders
you
speak.
Have experience in it.
Let him cook.
We need to talk about America's farmers because there is a foreign policy connection here. The U.S. and China are in this fierce economic competition. It's hurting American businesses, and there is blowback against American farmers because China then targets them in retaliation. How would you, as president,
that dude's never even
American
met someone
from
China
from that kind of retaliation from a foreign government like China?
Well, first of all, we've got the best farmers and ranchers in the world right here in America. If they have
How
a
do you
level
know
playing field,
that?
they can outcompete
How do you
anyone in the world, but this is part of the
what
larger issue
metric
that
are
we're
you
talking
going
about
by?
here, which is
Best.
California.
with China. The Biden
You're
administration will
Crane
admit
probably.
that.
California,
We're
the
also in
breadbasket of the world.
economic war through
Here we
what
go.
we're doing with agriculture
Crane
and
is the
energy, and
breadbasket
we're also
of Europe
in a
that
war
funds
with
Africa.
them relative to cyber
Put
war.
your
We get
LA
attacked
Laker
every day
pom-poms
in North
down,
Dakota,
LA
every
girl.
state, every school district.
I'm
our
not
tribes
from
all being
LA.
attacked every day by either
Down
China,
around
Russia, Iran,
LA.
or North Korea. And now we've got
Hollywood.
a Biden administration whose whole
Got
policy
Hollywood
is
in the
appeasement.
house.
They're out there, creating the world making.
I find
less
when
than
she
$6
brags too much
billion
of California,
they
just
traded
remind her
for
LA
5
exists
people.
and
They
she
just now
stops.
set a price on anyone's head who's a tourist
Fuck
from
LA.
America, who's a student
Or
from
say,
America,
Brenna, how are
for
the Browns
kidnapping.
doing?
If you want more kidnapping, put a price on it. And then they're also helping Iran get to have more
too soon.
closer
Too
to
soon.
nuclear weapon, which pushes all of the Middle East closer to China and Russia. The whole thing is absurd. And then, of course, we're going to give Ukraine to Russia, and then we're going to give Taiwan to China, and think that's a foreign policy. That will make our
What is he
nation
talking
less
about?
We don't know.
Nobody's
successful,
doing that.
make us
Nobody
more poor,
wants that.
and at the
No,
core of
Trump
all that
wants
is
that.
energy policy
Okay,
because
Trump wants
China
that.
imports 10 million barrels of oil a day. They're the largest importer in the world, and we've had 4 cabinet members from the Biden administration there this summer, and none of them talked about U.S. energy. The first one to go to each of those countries was Kerry to talk about the folly of the climate
You know what's
policy, which is
crazy?
making
Remember
the world
when
less stable,
after
it's empowering
9/11 we
dictators.
hated
It's not about
Muslims as a
climate change
country
that we need
and
worry
we
about.
went
It's about
after
the Biden
everybody
climate
who was a big
policies
bad
that are actually
Muslim?
the existential threat to America's
Yeah,
future.
we hate communism, right? And we hate dictators, right? Ain't none of these little bitches talking about something. Yeah, and I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna fuck Putin up.
Sending U.S. military
Not
into
one
the
of them has
country.
said it.
Quote,
Well,
scoundrels.
Because they realize how much money
Mexico
they're losing.
is the United States' most important trade partner and border security. You say you will send special operations to attack the cartels in Mexico. So,
Oh yeah, you can't do
this
that.
means
All
boots
right.
on the ground,
Okay.
drone strikes.
Yeah.
It means special operations. It's how we deal with our terrorists. And what you need to do is understand
can't do that. They're a
Mexico's not
sovereign
being a good
country.
partner if we
They
lost
will
75,000
declare war
Americans
on the
last
United
year.
States.
Mexico's
You
not being a good
literally
partner
are
if they're
starting a
letting the
war.
cartels get away with what they're getting away with. What we will
It's-
do is we
well,
will
you're
make
not
sure we
stopping
send in
them.
our special operations.
It's
and we
our
will
fault
take
the-
out
it's our fault the
will
cartels
take out their
exist.
In the
operations.
first
We'll take
place.
out anything that's doing it. But we're going to go after China because China is the one sending the fentanyl in the first place. And we will
Yes,
end all all normal trade relations until China stops
They got all the
sending
fentanyl plants?
And then we'll do the special
fentanyl
operations
bushes.
and we'll get it from both sides.
The vines.
This is where President Trump went wrong. He focused on trade with China. He didn't focus on the fact that they were buying up our farmland. He didn't focus on the fact that they were killing Americans.
It's inside of grapes. You have to take the pit out.
$600 billion in intellectual property. He didn't focus on the fact that they put a spy base off our shores in Cuba. They didn't focus enough on the fact that all of our law enforcement drones
They can
in
do whatever
America
they want.
are Chinese,
We don't own
and we've
Cuba.
got all these little surveillance cells.
Yeah, should we have then
need
bombed
to start
Cuba?
focusing
Yeah,
on
that'll
what
teach
keeps
them.
Americans safe.
What do you
that
want to do
hasn't
there?
happened in a long time. As your president, I will make sure every American is safe, and we'll do whatever it takes
And
to
I
make
will
that happen.
violate as many rights as I have.
I will commit all the war crimes to keep you safe. Mama Bear,
get a
don't
war
care.
crime.
Look, if you're
Just
going to
for
do it,
the
do it
job
right.
as president of the United States,
I
you
will
want to earn
nuke
these
every
rights.
other country so you
But
are
the world's
safe.
problems land in the Oval Office. During the presidential debates
blast
in
for
the year
more of it.
2000,
And she was the ambassador to UN.
George
She
W.
knows
Bush
the
was
shit that's
asked
going on.
about Al-Qaeda. Yet, just 1 year later, Al-Qaeda's attack on
God.
September 11th
The fucking eyes
claimed
scare me every
nearly
time.
3,000 lives. And the farther
Miss
we
Elga.
get from September 11th, the closer we are to September 10th. Senator Scott,
the
you
fuck?
have no executive branch experience.
She's saying that we're going to get
What has
9/11
prepared you
again.
to protect the nation
That is the
from a
dumbest thing I've ever
major
heard in my life.
man-made national security crisis?
Well, one of the
We
things
probably
I've
shouldn't
had
shut
the
down
good
the
fortune of
government
doing
in
is
3
serving
days.
on committees in the United States Senate, like the Senate Armed Services Committee. I'm on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, also on the Finance Committee and the Banking Committee. Talk about addressing the issue of fentanyl. I've written the legislation, passed it through the
Those are
Banking
very
Committee
important
and the
committees,
Senate
by the way.
to freeze the assets and sanction the accounts of the Mexican cartels. There are weapons that we have
Yeah,
within
they
the
don't have
arsenal.
any dirty
I
money.
was able to get past
So
23
freeze
to
their
0
assets.
in the polarizing Senate as it is. I've
It's not like
also
the U.S.
understood
has
without
supported
question
Mexican
the fact that if
leaders
you
who
look
supported
at
the cartels
details before 9/11,
or
there
were
was
corrupt.
information and intelligence that was available that suggested
They'd
an attack
rather
was coming.
fight a
Having
war
the
with the
right
cartel
intelligence
than
partners
let the
with us
fucking
is key
6,000
to making
immigrants
sure
across the
that we
border. Isn't that
prevent the
crazy?
next 9/11
Or the 6
from
million
ever
immigrants.
happening.
They'd rather,
Having that
like, we
experience
have
over the
no
last 10
space.
years is really
You want to
important in
you want to
getting the
see an
job done.
economic boom?
There's,
Let those
30
people into the
seconds to
country.
you, Mr.
Exactly.
Well, I think you asked a question about executive experience. I
Yeah,
think it's
don't let
vitally
Vivek
important.
say anything else,
No,
please.
And I stand before you today as a candidate for president because I
Fascism.
think this country's in a lot
He
of
might
trouble.
get skipped from now on.
And you hear the fire on the stage tonight. You hear the fire in all of our voices. And it's because Joe Biden has weakened this country at home and abroad. This is a
Boy,
time
you said
Sure
that
he
shit
did.
in
for
neutral.
those
Shut
of us
up.
that have the experience.
Your whole life is
tested
neutral.
experience
Yeah, he
and
doesn't
the
have a
commitment
first
to the
gear.
conservative
No,
agenda
he
that
ain't never
Ronald Reagan
shifted.
brought forward.
I remember
in
when
this
that
party,
fly
a
landed
strong
on your
national
head, you got
defense,
stuck
standing
there
with
during
our
that
allies,
period.
standing up to our enemies.
The fly
supporting
figured he wasn't
limited
going
government
anywhere.
and traditional values need to step forward.
This is a smelly
Because,
turd.
frankly,
Go
our party does face a time for choosing, as they said at the top of this debate, whether we're going to stand on the foundation of that conservative agenda that Ronald Reagan poured, or whether we're going to follow the siren song of populism unmoored to conservative
now
principles.
it is a
I'm
time
the most
Yay,
experienced, most
populism.
qualified, and most consistent conservative
Yeah, that
in
works
this
out.
field, and I'm ready
And
to
blow
lead
up
America
Mexico.
home and abroad on day
Hey,
one.
Mike
Choosing
Pence.
to go to a break.
Hey,
Ilya, we
Mike
need to go
Pence.
to a commercial break where Reagan built a
Yeah,
Are you
right.
saying hey or hang?
Hey, Mike
Hey,
Pence.
Mike Pence. Hey, Mike Pence. Hey, Mike
debate
Pence.
continues.
You're okay. You're okay. I'm getting drunk.
Yes,
Good.
Yes, I am.
This is
I
some
feel the
strong
gummy a
shit,
little.
too.
We should be getting drunk. Drunk is where we should be.
This is pretty cool. I got this on
Ooh, what is
sale,
that?
and so it's Barefoot sparkling wine.
Whoa, that's not
but-
TOS. No bare feet. Thank you very much.
But it's got rainbows on it because it's about pride and inclusivity, just like me.
Oh, just like you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Brenda. That's a mental disorder.
Stop, Tim. Tim, damn it, we're taking a break, okay? Damn
You know
it.
what's a
Go around
mental
the room and
disorder,
explain
Tim?
all the liquors we're drinking.
Cheese.
Oh, here we see. Now you've got her started.
Cheese is a mental disorder, but that's fine.
Tim's a cult leader. I
Yes.
saw it on the internet.
Tim thinks Wisconsin
Where's my
cheese
cheese?
is
Where
better
are
than
we getting
cheese on the
cheese
East
cult
Coast.
merchandise?
You know what's a mental disorder, Tim?
What?
Calling a toque a beanie.
It's a beanie.
That's
It's a
mental
beanie.
It's
disorder.
not a toque. Look,
It's a
yeah,
toque.
Mikey agrees with me.
It's a beanie.
It's got Canada right on it, Mikey. It's a fucking toque.
Toques are different shapes than that, though.
No, they aren't.
So you call like a stock, like a what do they call it? Not a stocking cap, but the
anything that doesn't have like a peak on it is basically a toque like that.
Isn't what do they call like those Navy hats?
Navy hats,
toupees,
the little Navy beanies, because you know they all have when they're in subs.
A beret? Do you mean
beret?
A beret?
Oh no,
man, I said toupee.
I know what a beret is. Like, I'm not dumb. I just can't remember the name of the fucking.
Mikey, they have
skull cap. What
Mikey,
about skull cap?
They have coins called loonies. What do you think it comes from? They're loony.
Look, they're high on their own supply of maple syrup right now.
Well, so, here's the test, Ollie. Is it pronounced elevator or is it pronounced lift?
Elevator.
Okay.
He's still a North American, Tim. He's not a complete savage.
I just wanted to make sure. Because you guys haven't been
Trunk is not a boot either. All right, the trunk is not a boot either. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, trunk is not boot. Yeah, they're just wrong.
Listen, you guys haven't been that far from British rule. I'm just making sure.
Is it trash can or bin?
Trash can.
Okay,
wrong answer. Wrong answer. What's the name of this fucking channel? Wrong answer.
Is it aluminum or aluminium?
Tim?
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Well, actually, with trash cans or trash bins, it depends.
I have a recycling bin.
I got trash cans outside of my yard, but the big trash bin outside of work is a bin. So I don't know.
I have a recycling bin and a trash can.
Yeah.
Is it basil or basil?
Are you talking about the herb or the name?
Oh, herb
the
or
herb?
Herb.
The herb.
Is it GIF
it
or GIF?
Stop it, Tim.
It's lift. What?
Is it GIF or GIFT?
GIFT.
That what? I don't fucking know.
Is it fascism or conservatism?
Stop it. You guys are just, you guys are allergic to fun. We can't help but re-depress ourselves. We keep spinning out of the depression, but we keep getting sucked back in. Like
button once.
It's like
he doesn't know where the button is, Tim.
What button?
Oh no, you lost the.
He's lost track of
the fascism button. Because we've said it a bunch of times. I was waiting for.
Yeah, so he hasn't fixed the soundboard yet.
All right, here. I'll put it on screen so you guys can see my pain here.
Well, it's your fault. Look at it.
Your fault for having a million.
Look at it. It's awful.
Oh, they can't see it on stream. Oh, that's cool. I can leave it right here. So I have
I don't want to see it.
I have 8 current pages on my my Stream Deck, and I have the 24 button one. I got the big one. So I have a lot of fucking sound.
Back, by the way, not to interrupt you.
I gotcha. I got a lot of shit to put back, so it's gonna take some time.
But the courts won't let you. Mr. Ramaswamy, how would you bring down prices
no,
without
don't let him talk.
drilling?
Well, look, I think that we do have to run through the courts and get through that administrative state to make sure we're using the natural resources here at home. But here's the other thing that we can do that's easy.
Forever, Mr. Ramaswamy.
And it addresses the national debt as well as brings down prices.
You know, uranium is
people
natural.
Back to work. We are using taxpayer money
to
pay people more to stay at home than to go to work. That is wrong.
When are we doing
that contributes to our supply chain crisis.
I would like to know
it contributes to inflation.
I want that
That's
job.
That's the easiest way to
I have
unlock this
money?
economy. And here's the other
Can I have money?
We have to put the Federal
What the
Reserve
fuck does he think he's
back
about to do
in
as
its
fucking
place.
president?
This is an agency
Sit
that
on his
has
ass and
gone
take our
rogue.
money.
So in January
do
2026, when I have the opportunity as our next commander-in-chief, we will have a new chairman
hell
of the Federal
no.
Reserve who places priority on dollar stability, and then most importantly, send packing 75% of the administrative state, reduce the federal employee headcount by 75%.
That's what it is. That's part of 2025.
50% of
He wants to
unconstitutional
fire
federal regulations that are
like
shackling
a million
businesses,
people.
both large and small. I've offered a very clear, practical plan to do it. That's how we unleash the economy. That's how we revive the integrity
Unleash
of a
the economy.
He's dumb. He's a dumb motherfucker.
This technocracy and aristocracy in the administrative state.
Response, please.
Technocracy? Aren't you a tech
I think
mogul?
one of the signature accomplishments of our administration.
He's a
was in just a few
pharmaceutical
short
swindler.
years, we achieved
He's a dumb
energy
motherfucker.
independence. We
That
became a net
They
exporter
all
of energy
are.
for the first time in
Damn.
75 years.
Get it right
on
the
day
first
one,
time.
Joe
Go,
Biden
Chris
declared a
Christie.
war on energy,
Yeah.
which was no surprise because when Joe Biden ran for president, he said he was going to end fossil fuels, and they've been working overtime to
didn't
do
say
that
that.
ever since. If I'm
And they're
president of the
not.
United
Citation
States,
needed.
We're gonna
Yeah,
open up
citation
federal
needed there,
lands.
buddy.
We're going to unleash American energy. We're going to have an all of the above energy
We actually
strategy.
did because
And I have
of
a plan
Russia.
that actually would not only
He said
reclaim
we're going to have
energy
American
independence,
energy with the
but
least
in
amount of energy I've ever
2006,
heard.
America lost our position as the leading energy producer
Sleepy,
on Earth. I believe in the next 10
fuck,
years
man,
with
that
the right
that gummy is
policies
kicking in.
and experienced
Told you.
leadership
You
in
know
the
that
White
show
House, we
Yellowstone
can
y'all like?
reclaim our
Fuck
role
that.
as the
We're gonna
leading
start getting
energy
oil out of
So,
that shit.
so
on
Tim, you got to
Earth,
lean
and
into
that'll
that.
grow the American
Get that
economy
groove
for
and lean
generations to
into it,
come.
and then your funny will come through it. Lean into it. Don't be afraid. Embrace the
Believe,
darkness.
Sam. Believe.
Embrace the darkness.
Hey, Mike
So, you know, the
Pence.
first thing
Hey,
I
Mike
said
Pence.
When
There
I
you go.
started the United Nations is national
That should have
energy
been the name of
security
the
is
show.
national
Hey,
security. We need a president
getting
that
t-shirts.
understands we have to partner with our producers
I'm gonna
and
put
make
the
sure
fly
that we
picture
have
on
their
there.
backs. What you don't need is a president who is against energy independence. Ron DeSantis is
No one
against
is.
fracking.
No one
He's
is.
against drilling. He's been against. You did it. He always talks about what happens on day one. You better watch out.
How about we
because what happens
capture
on
the
day 2 is
big
when you're in trouble.
shiny
Day
thing
2 in
above our
Florida,
heads?
You banned
Yes,
fracking,
the
you
alien
banned
be a
offshore
smile.
drilling, you did it on federal lands, and you
Yeah.
took green subsidies that you didn't have to take.
Governor DeSantis, you were
It is
mentioned.
true.
You have
Look
the
at
right to
day 2.
respond. 30 seconds.
Yeah. I just did a plan out in West Texas for American energy.
You don't live in
dominance.
Texas.
We're
You
gonna
don't
choose
live in
Midland
Texas.
Over Moscow.
He
We're
wishes.
gonna choose the
He
Marcellus
would
over
love
the
to be the
Mullahs,
governor
and we're
of
gonna choose
Texas.
Bakken over Beijing, and we are going to lower your gas prices. We are going to get that job done.
Because
it's
Texas
important
is
for our
more
national
off
security,
the
it's
grid
important for
than
jobs,
Florida.
and that's one of the best
Man, I wish it
ways
would go like
to drive
full
down
Newt Gingrich would be
inflation.
like, I'll make gas prices $2 a gallon.
Every time they've tried to put on hold
This question is for
to
you.
stop gas from going up,
Enacted a
Republicans veto it.
constitutional
You
amendment
banned
Every
it
time.
before they
doesn't
voted.
allow. No, it's not true.
You banned it before
They say my
voted.
oil
You're
lobbyists
really
won't like that.
You're not.
Mommy and Daddy are
can't
fighting.
lower the price.
They voted
See,
it
Mikey, you
in.
can't
That's
lower
what
the
they
prices of
I'm
gas
sure
because
we
that
do
hurts
do it
small
in Florida,
business.
that
But
we
you
don't
can't
have as much as maybe
you
West
can't
Texas,
raise
but we
the
do
price
it,
of
but that was
gas
a
because that
constitutional-
hurts
So that's
middle
just
class
wrong, and
families.
let's just get real here.
They're
My
never
plan
satisfied.
will get
Alex,
the job
Ben,
done.
Ben's a troll. He's my friend though. I love him. I love him dearly. He's just being an asshole. He's a closet progressive, and he knows it because he can't keep a straight face when he says things that are right wing. But he doesn't want to be that guy with the guys, you know. It's okay.
The Biden administration is hell-bent.
You can't
on
even
student
spell
loan
red.
Forgiveness, but you say colleges should be on the hook when graduates cannot pay their debt. How does that address the cost of college? How does the cost of college?
Maybe don't charge them $200,000 for a degree.
Do we expand the gender studies department, knowing some of those graduates may not have great learning
CRT.
abilities? No.
CRT.
They're going to focus on the things that really matter. They're going to make different choices. They're going to try to graduate people in 4 years. I also just want to come back to something Dana asked last segment about 9/11 because I was just at.
He's mostly dodging the
9/11.
question.
That's a drink. 9/11 is a definite
to be
drink.
there, and it affected
I
my
don't
life.
want to
because
drink
I ended up
anymore.
joining the
We gotta play
military as a
bingo
result
the
of
next
that.
debate.
I've been
We
a
are
blue
playing
collar
bingo
kid,
with your liver.
Minimum wage in Dunedin, Florida. I ended up getting to
DeSantis
Yale and
5,
Harvard Law
hit,
School, and
drink.
somehow came out more
It's called the
conservative than
lingo
when I went in, and
bingo.
that is not easy to do.
Oh my God!
We gotta do
You're
that.
on fire!
Coming back on the plane from Iraq, landing in Coronado,
I name
California,
things
North
most
Island,
goodly.
You're the
and
most
feeling
goodest
that breeze off
namer.
the Pacific Ocean, say, you know what?
Big-
I am
Most
lucky to have been
goodliest.
born an American, and I think being able to serve, and I'll be the first president elected
gotta write
since
it down. What was the
1988
other
who's
one?
actually served overseas in a war. I think that's going to
Shit.
help me as
God
commander
damn
in
it.
chief.
You forgot.
to know
No.
how
No,
to
no.
see these
It's okay.
issues,
We'll
to
go back.
understand
all
that
of
there
the
are real
drugs.
lives at stake for people that wear the uniform.
And we know
All
that
drugs
Governor
matter.
Haley's husband
All
is serving
drugs
right
matter.
now as
That's
well,
it,
and we
that's
thank him for that.
All
Senator
drugs
Scott,
matter,
the national
and
debt has
of
nearly
what you just
doubled
said.
in your time in office. The approval rate for Congress is at a mere 19%.
Lingo
If
bingo.
this were a
Oh,
business,
19%. That's
you'd
good for
probably all be
Congress.
fired in Washington, but you're here today
They're on a
looking
roll.
for a promotion.
Until Kevin McCarthy
Governor
gets
Haley
fired.
hired you for the Senate. I'd like you to tell her why you should be promoted
You never
to
will.
CEO of the nation instead of her.
We should not be using those
One of the
words
things
in the
I'd say
same
is if you
sentence.
look at our national debt of
Not the
$33
CEO
trillion.
of America.
I would love to have an opportunity to have this country pass a balanced budget amendment. That would constrain the spending in
that's
Washington
disaster,
in the
guys.
same
I'm sorry,
fashion
it just
that
is.
does in every state in our nation. Number one. Number two, If you want to actually reduce our national debt, you have to grow.
Not allowing the country to borrow money would destroy the country.
10 million jobs
It would collapse overnight.
At 5%. You can do that in 3 specific sectors. Number
As a
one,
Californian,
the
I
energy
like to say
sector.
you're
We
welcome.
could create between 3 and 3.5 million jobs if we unleashed all of our energy resources. America is we're the richest country if you combine coal, gas, and oil. Why not unleash all of our resources?
No, that would actually be Russia.
Yeah, like that's not even close. Like no, dog.
We have a lot, but like
not
Russia,
more than them. Russia is like a third of the earth. Like what are you talking about?
I wrote the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
They just can't get to it, but
And the
it's there.
places they drill are, I was gonna say, they're in the middle of a frozen desert.
$1.7 trillion. We brought the unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanics,
Oh, here we go.
Asians to the lowest level
I thought
in
Trump
the
did
history
that.
of the country and a 70-year low for
No, I'm
women.
pretty sure it was Obama.
Would you think you would deserve the
first of all,
promotion over
I think,
him?
look,
I think the
appreciate Tim. We've known
gummy
each other
is
a long
making me
time,
less
but
tolerant
he's
of the
been there
bullshit.
12 years and he
Yeah.
hasn't done any of that.
Yeah,
They've
your
only
inhibitions
given
are starting to slide. Yeah,
4 budgets
that's
one
normal.
time in
You're good.
40 years. He was part of that.
Maintain
He
heading.
increased the national debt. He voted
Full
for
throttle,
the
baby.
He has
When
made
do we
sure
start
that
dancing on the
they
table?
haven't done anything. Look at every
Why are they
single
shouting at
12
each other?
years. Where have you been?
Can someone
harassment.
shock
Where
one of
have
them?
you been?
We've waited and nothing has
We need
happened.
someone with a cattle prod to just go, shut the fuck up.
We do not care.
Keep it down over there.
Hit them with the space tasers.
I literally think they just need to throw some random Democrat up there and just shut them down.
That's what Tim
Like,
Scott is.
You can always talk, but when it gets hot in there, when they're
Throw
shooting
somebody
arrows
out there.
at you, are you going to be stand up for parents' rights to keep the state free? Are you going to be able to do all those
Oh
things?
my
in
God,
the
fuck
state of
all the
Florida
way off Ron
because of our
DeSantis.
Can
success?
somebody
The
please bring up how
Democratic Party
Disney
lies in
is
ruins.
bending him
We
over and
won
going,
the big fights.
Yeah, right.
We turned our state into a Republican
Don't.
state. People
Mikey,
respond to
Keep
I
bringing
do
up
not
how
want
he had
nightmares.
Nazis
Oh.
in his
While others have
campaign.
talked about it.
Nikki slides them little red shorts down, pulls that suspender down. He's like, I've been waiting for years.
What about his support of Moms for Liberty, which has been labeled a terrorist organization?
Zero-based budgeting? This man is wild. Zero-based
See
budgeting?
what's actually necessary. There isn't a blue state or a red state in this union that does it. The federal government doesn't do it. But successful companies, including the ones that I've built as a CEO, will do it. And I think we need a CEO.
No, they fucking don't. Companies drown in debt. They live on debt. That's how it
Companies
works.
zero-based budgets. He's a fucking
Anything,
idiot.
but I'm just going to say right now, when you say nobody else has done it, the energy plans that have all been announced in the last month by these other folks on stage, we're already doing it in North Dakota.
His neck makes me
border
uncomfortable.
plans are already talking about. We've got troops down at the border flying helicopter
eyebrows.
missions from North Dakota, from San Diego to the Gulf
Why are
Coast.
troops
Or-
from North Dakota at the border? Ollie, are they your border?
Invasion and the
I don't
mass
think so.
casualties in our state.
Yeah, they're on rowboats.
That would make more
Canadians.
sense, actually. That would actually be cheaper to
Like
put than
5
this.
guys in a mule with a couple of
We won the battle
crossbows.
to get the Biden administration, who was ignoring the law,
They'll
that
give
were the
those
first
Mounties a run
administration
for their
since
minute.
Truman that wasn't holding the quarterly required lease sales, and we won that in federal court. WOTUS, we won that in federal court. We're fighting the Biden administration on 20 fronts. To say that nobody's fighting the big fights, just look at the record of what we're doing right now. Energy, economy, national security. I've been talking about it since day one. And
He
now
dressed like
finally
he don't
we're
wanna be
having a
here.
Conversation about it, but we've got the answer in North Dakota.
Is his shirt white?
Yeah, I think so. But it's like too big.
No, because his shirt's white.
It's not a crisp white. It's like a
Yeah.
linen white.
It's not, yeah, it's like a linen.
It's not an
Cream
ox.
linen.
It's like an ox. Not an Oxford. It's like a linen almost. That's
Ah.
it's like a linen that's heavily starched.
Well, because we've done
He
it in
won't.
North Dakota.
The
When
answer
I
is
took
he won't.
office, we
His
shrunk
answer
the
doesn't
state
matter because he
budget
won't.
general fund by 27%
Should
in
we
the
have a
first
drinking
4 months
game where
I
every
was
time he
office,
says North
and
Dakota,
all
we
the
have
trains
to
stopped
take
running on time. Why? Because you had a
Nobody
business
lives
leader
in
that was
North
actually
Dakota.
inside
I have
of
one
every
friend there.
government job, there's 10 or 20%
Tim, there's
of
at least 12
mind-numbing,
people.
soul-sucking work
Ben
that
Shady.
even the
See,
state
this is
and
what I'm
federal
talking
employees
about.
don't wanna do,
Y'all don't even
and
know
you
what the
can
fuck y'all
engineer
be
that
mad
work out of
at.
the job.
Where
That would
is
free up
Trump
right there
Daddy
20%
at?
of
See,
2
I
million
knew that was your
salary.
daddy, you little pervert.
We've got
I knew you
2
liked
million
him, you
jobs
little
open. They got
freak.
plenty
I
to
didn't
do.
know
They
you was
could
into
be
old dudes, but it's
generating
cool.
Trump's-
taxes instead
All
of being
that orange all over.
He likes
it home.
Ben's the kind of guy who sucks the cheese off the Cheeto before he eats it. You know what I'm saying?
This guy puts ketchup on his steaks just like I do.
Ben loves ketchup on his steaks.
You are un-American.
This election
and
Trump is sitting at home like a loser bitch.
in 6 states in 2022.
He is. Trump is a pussy.
Let's go, Brandon.
Next year, abortion will likely be on the ballot in Arizona. That is a must-win state. Governor DeSantis.
I want to hear
Is that supposed to be a smile? What is that look on his face right now?
It's the creepiest fucking thing ever.
I think he needs to go poop or something.
He's not a human. He's a robot.
No, that's just his normal look.
We were winning places like Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach.
He's constantly in the uncanny valley.
Because we were leading with purpose and conviction. I reject this idea that pro-lifers are to blame for midterm defeats. I think there's other reasons for
They
that.
are.
The
They
former
are.
president, he's missing in action tonight. He's had a lot to say about that. He should be
'Cause he's
here
a
explaining
bitch.
his comments to try to say that pro-life protections are somehow a terrible thing. I want him to look into the eyes and tell people who've been fighting this
they are
fight
killing
for a long
people.
time. I was at, my wife and I earlier
You
today
hate
were
women.
at the gravesite of
Say it.
President Mrs. Reagan. And I
No, he doesn't
noticed
hate
that,
women.
there was a
He just
poster.
doesn't.
It says,
He doesn't
"Every
like where
single
women
person
are.
Fuck
has
Mrs. Reagan
purpose
too. She a
and worth.
bitch.
We're better off when everybody counts.
She went
And
to
I think
war
we
with
should
video
stand
games.
For what we believe
She's a bad
in.
person.
I think we should hold
And
the
help bring on the
Democrats
satanic
accountable
panic.
for their extremism, supporting
D&D
abortion
causes
all
state
the way
war.
up
And
until
DARE.
the moment of birth. That is infanticide.
She's
and
responsible
that
for
is
DARE.
wrong.
Let me ask Governor Christie.
Just say
Fuck
no.
you, Ron
Do you
DeSantis.
think that Republicans-
Fuck you very much, Ron
Governor Christie,
DeSantis.
do you think that Republicans can do that? And
No,
if-
don't look at
if
me.
This referendum is on the
Oh
ballot.
God, make it
Because I
stop.
did it in New Jersey.
Jack
Oh.
Skellington,
Then
down.
why are all these other states losing?
Well, because they don't
Jack
have leaders in those
Skellington.
states
Funny.
who are leading the fight.
Why
the way it
these
should
other
be led.
states losing?
And in fact, is look, I was a governor.
Y'all
here
can't
of
figure
the
out what's
only
going
blue
on,
state that's
right?
represented up here. This is where the
No,
fight is
I have
really
fucking
tough
no
for
idea what's
Republicans.
happening right
and
now.
those are the states that
Oh
we're going to
my
have to try to
God.
win if we're going to win the White House back. And what we did was 14
They're not admitting
times, Dana,
that
in 8 years, I vetoed Planned
the
Parenthood funding.
abortion
14
issue
times.
is
No one else
actually
gets it
A
done.
losing
Like,
issue.
Democrats
on the
just kept saying to
Republican
me, and I
side
kept
is
saying
losing.
no because I believe in life.
You lose
Like you
all.
have,
in states
you
where-
have to
and I think we
move
fought
a
hard
little
against Roe
bit
versus
Yeah.
Wade for decades. to
If
say
you don't
that
say
because
in
you're
case
losing
So we're gonna have those
Republican
fights in the
women
states.
at
What you need is a leader
ridiculous.
who can talk to people
Yeah,
and make them
soccer-
understand that if you're
Soccer moms
pro-life,
don't appreciate you
have
taking
to
over their
pro-life
fucking
for the
shit.
entire life, not just the
When they
9 months in the
realize that
womb.
you're
And
actually
we talked a lot about fentanyl
you're actually
tonight, and we
killing
haven't
women,
spoken one moment about
it's
treatment.
bad.
But we need to make
Yeah.
sure that for the drug-addicted 16-year-old on the floor of the county lockup,
Well, and
her life is precious too.
in Trump's last
And we need to
interview,
be
he was
providing
quoted
treatment
again
to
as
cure
saying
this
that
as a
Democrats
disease that
want
it
to
is. If you're
abort
pro-life,
children
you gotta be
after they're
pro-life for
born.
the entire life. We start
That's
talking
what
Which is
they
called
None of that is
murder.
true.
We're going to do what I did in a blue
None of that's
state,
true.
which was get reelected with 61% of the vote and
None of it.
70%
And this is the thing.
and 51% of Latinos. because I
Nobody
told them
is
the truth
pushing
from my
back
heart.
on that kind of
Vice President Pence.
bullshit.
Yeah.
The latest Univision poll found that 73% of
Like
Latino
this-
voters think the
This
Republican
this
Party doesn't
until
care
birth,
about
this after
or is
birth,
being
this shit
hostile
is
toward
not
them.
true at
Hispanic
all in
community.
any
Only
cases.
Governor
Yeah.
DeSantis
It literally
has
made
translated
up.
his campaign into
It's-
Spanish. How
It's
will
this
you
conspiracy
reach out to Latino
theory
voters?
that they are pushing, and
Well,
it's
I promise you that
hurting
we're going to continue to build
women
bridges to
the
every
most.
community in this country. And I'm incredibly proud
Hey
of that.
Ben, get your boy.
Tax cut and
Ben,
tax
get your
reform bill. I
homeboy. That's your
worked
little
on
boyfriend, ain't he?
Capitol Hill to help get that bill
Oh, Bernie
passed into law.
Sanders?
The largest tax
No,
cut in
Ben
American
loves
history. We
Pence.
saw
That's why him and his
the lowest
bestest
unemployment
buds took
ever
their cell
recorded
phones to
for
January
Hispanic
6th.
Americans.
Little
The
fucking
lowest unemployment ever
you little
recorded.
insurrectionist motherfucker. I'm gonna tell him it was you.
So I think the
I'm gonna
President
lie.
of the
I'm
United
like, he was
States
in the
needs to
one
be a
with the fucking
champion
horns on his
for the
head.
American dream for
Smearing shit
every
on the walls.
American. It begins with the unborn. and
The American
aging,
dream
the
for all the
infirm.
white Americans.
And it begins with
not-
every ethnic group in this country.
Not those
And I promise
minorities.
you, if I'm president of the United States,
How about the
I'll
immigrants?
be a champion. I'll be a champion
No,
for the
they're
American
not.
dream.
Oh.
They're not
for
Americans.
Hispanic
Oh, sorry.
Americans and for every
Sorry.
American. So help me
Shut
God.
up.
Senator Scott, your reaction?
You're ruining everything.
There's no doubt that
You
if you
ruin
lead by
everything
example,
always.
it's the best way to get the job done. If you look at my office
Make me
in the
mute you,
Senate,
Mikey.
My chief of staff is the only Hispanic female chief of staff in the Senate. I hired
Congratulations.
her because she's the best highest qualified person we have. What we need are leaders who lead by example. And I will simply say, I would love to finish my conversation with Nikki as it relates to the job.
Don't nobody want y'all.
He's not going to talk about what we want him to talk about.
Gas tax increase.
My God.
You know he paid for mad abortions in the 90s. That's why he
shot him.
That's why he changing the subject. He paid for mad abortions.
On this gallon in South Carolina.
Lauren Boebert had 2.
UN ambassador.
Oh, I'm gonna cook her ass next week. Maybe I'll do a special episode.
And a $15 million.
You want to do a Boebert episode?
Location.
Absolutely. I got a lot of dirt.
You got bad
Let's do
information.
one.
First of all, I fought the gas
Let's
tax
do it
in
as
South
part of
Carolina
ours.
multiple times against
Filthy
the
Americans.
establishment.
Just go to YouTube.
Against the establishment.
Just go to
and you
YouTube
want to know
and
what
see
that
for
10
yourself.
cent was? When they wouldn't pass the gas tax, the establishment, the
Pass the
companies wanted
gas.
to do it so much that I said,
Mikey, you're 4.
I'm 3.5.
if you will give me 3 times the deduction in income tax, then I will look at your gas tax, which is why it didn't happen. Secondly, on the $50 million.
Here is a nice
Or maybe pass a gas tax on corporate gas company profit.
It's in the press.
Did you send them back?
It's the State Department.
Did you send them back?
You send them back? You're the one
Moderators.
that works in
Oh my gosh.
You get it.
What the fuck
Where's
is
the
this?
question?
They like
He's not
it.
answering the
Guys.
question.
You are scrapping. You are scrapping.
Next.
Where's the cattle
They
prod?
just sound like dog and cat noises.
Cattle prod.
Someone shoot him with a taser.
My God.
Space taser.
We're about to take a commercial break.
Hey, yo, Ben, don't say this chick. That's your girl. She's about to be your president. You better fall back
in just a few
and fall in line. You
My
can be marching
God.
to fucking her drum in a minute. That's going to be your girl.
How much more of this shit is there?
Hours.
There's hours and
All right,
hours.
well, it's
I
confirmed.
don't have hours.
I don't
Mark, you're never
think
leaving.
I
Tim
like
Scott
how.
and Nikki Haley like each other.
Oh,
Why
we
you
are,
make me
we
sad,
are not
Tim?
listening to him.
No.
That's not
Mark,
happening.
Mark, you're not alive. You're in hell, and it's just this for eternity.
I am the devil. You're
Here to
welcome.
do the devil's business.
You're welcome.
That queen of the damned.
Tonight, Mark is drinking a rye whiskey that was aged in cognac barrels.
Ooh, what you got there? What's it called?
Rocknar.
Now that's a motherfucking name right there.
Right? It is a Minnesota distillery.
You
I
know
will
what?
Throw...
Kira's not that old. I could change her name to Rocknar.
Rocknar.
Do you have a year or something? Isn't it?
A year that she was born, 2023.
No, don't you have a year until you can change your name? Like,
Oh, a year's time? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. Ben, you got 30 kids. Go. Can I still change my daughter's name?
I think there's.
I almost wanted her to pick her name, but I feel like she hasn't earned that right. When she gets a job and gets $500 or whatever it costs to go down to the State Department and get it changed, then I feel like she's earned the right to change her name. We paid for the
Kira
diapers.
Banana Hammock.
Like the wife said no to Goku, Batman.
Who says no to Goku?
Wolverine, Nightcrawler. Luffy.
I just want to say, as a daughter of teachers, like names are actually really important. If your child is something named completely out of the ordinary, your teacher will hate you.
Well, I'm not going to make it hard to pronounce. I just didn't want it to be like Aiden, Braden, Caden, Fladen, Jaden, Graydon, Sladen, Bladen, and Graydon. Like everyone has an Aiden name.
So
now.
this is pretty cool. This has look at that.
Adrenochromes.
Pronouns on it. Damn it.
Hi,
He, her,
I'm Mikey
he,
Famine.
him, they, them, z's, them.
I'm Mikey Famine. I'm a cisgendered male, and my pronouns are he, him, which is exactly the same as it's always been for me.
There you go.
Yep.
So,
And I'm
Mikey,
not
can I call you
offended.
Khaleesi?
Dragon Ball related
Dracarys.
question for the panel.
Okay.
For the panel.
I'm here.
Super Saiyan times 10.
You
Ooh,
get to live in
Kaioken.
the Dragon Ball universe, but you have to be Yamcha.
Yamcha's a dog. Like Yamcha's a good ass fucking fighter. It's the aliens that fucking fight on Earth that make up the fucking problem.
I'm bowing out of this because I know nothing about Dragon Ball Z.
Krillin is more powerful than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Krillin's an alien too.
Trains with Krillin trains with
There's
Goku
no
every
way
fucking day.
he's a fucking
It's like,
human, dude. He's like 4 foot. He's been bald since birth. He's
All
not.
right,
He's got to be an alien. If Goku just landed, he landed from another planet.
You can live in the Dragon Ball universe, but you have to be Mr. Satan.
Oh, and Ben.
Mr. Who?
See, Ben brings up
Mr.
a good
Satan?
point.
Oh yeah.
Krillin doesn't even have a fucking nose. He can't be an Earthling.
Just to comment on the Mr. Satan, that wouldn't be too bad. He's really famous. He's got lots of money. People believe that he is actually super tough.
Oh, you're talking about Hercule? Yeah.
Yeah, Hercule. Yeah, Mr. Satan.
Yeah. Mr. Satan. Yeah. Did you ever notice that Hercule and Dr. Disrespect are the same person?
Yeah, right.
Big, giant, hairy fakes. I said it. Sorry, Tim. I'm shitting on your favorite fucking... Well, your second favorite content creator because the Ben podcast is your favorite. Brenna, where should these people go if they want to support this little podcast that could?
Go to hell.
Hell, bitch. Go to hell.
Patreon.com/Big Striker.
No, don't do that. No.
Patreon.com/Mikey Famine.
Don't listen to him. He is incorrect.
Uh-oh.
Go to patreon.com/podcast.
The debate's coming back. We got to turn up the volume again.
Oh, no.
We only have a few minutes.
Air Force
candidates.
One, though.
It's now obvious that if
was that
you
his
all
Air Force
stay
One?
in the race,
Yep, he retired.
President Donald Trump wins the nomination.
So we have to make a new one? Thanks,
None of you have
Reagan.
indicated that you're dropping out. So,
they had to
which one of
update
you
it? That's weird.
on stage tonight should be voted off the island?
Point at each other.
Please use your marker.
Who
to
would
write
you
your
execute?
choice on the
Which
notepad
one?
in front of
I
you.
know.
15 seconds starting out.
Oh my God, they're gonna vote each other off.
Who should be
My
voted?
row.
Absolutely.
Weirdo from North Dakota,
We're here, like, we're happy to debate, but I think that's disrespectful to my fellow competitors.
Nobody wants to participate.
I'm writing a name. Give me a pen.
Ass kissers. Ass kissers.
Let me ask you this.
If I may,
let me ask you something.
No,
Let me-
shut up,
If you
Vivek.
won't answer that question, let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
What is your mathematical path,
Yes.
Governor DeSantis,
Yeah.
in order to try to beat President Trump, who has a commanding and enduring lead in this race?
Polls don't elect presidents. Voters elect presidents. And we're going to take the case of the people in these early states. We're going to do it in a state-by-state direction. And why? Because as Reagan said in his day,
You've got
this
no
is
chance,
our
mate.
time for choosing. We are not getting a mulligan on the 2024 election. Republicans have lost 3 straight elections in a row. We were supposed to have a red wave with inflation at 9%. It crashed and burned.
But
Not
it
in
only
Florida,
did
it
like
didn't.
this
We
because you
delivered it
got
in Florida.
nervous.
And so we've got to choose right. We've got to win.
Too
And we
much
need somebody that's
whiskey.
going to be able to serve 2 terms. So in January of 2023, they'll be able to address the nation saying, we turned the economy around, we secured the border, and
you
we
will.
fended off the threat
throne.
from communist China. And
Oh.
I'm president, I will get that job done.
That was
I did see you write
past
something.
January.
Governor Christie, I believe, excuse me, Governor Christie, I believe I did see you write something on the card. Who was it?
No, but I'll certainly tell you.
Trump.
Yeah. Look, I think I've been the only one on this stage who's been clear about this. I vote Donald Trump off the island right now. And the reason I voted off the island,
any of the people on the stage.
Clip that, Ben.
Every person on this stage has shown the respect for Republican voters to come here to express their views honestly,
because Trump is a
candidly,
fucking
and directly,
pussy.
and to take your positions honestly. I have respect for every man and woman on this stage because they've done it. Vivek, put your hand down for a second, would you? I still got time, dude. So chill out.
Daddy's talking.
Look, this guy has not only divided our party. He's divided families.
He's divided
all
by
over
0.
This country. He's divided friends all over this country. I've spoken to people, and I know everyone else has, who have sat at Thanksgiving dinner or at a
Chris
birthday
Christie
party
spoke
and
to people?
can't have a
Chris
conversation
Christie said at mad
anymore
Thanksgiving dinners
if
in
they
the same
disagree
year.
with Donald Trump. He needs to be voted
Just
off
showing
the
up at
island.
people's
He needs to
houses
be
for
taken out of
Thanksgiving.
this
Can we get
process.
Vivek 15 seconds?
Hey, what kind of turkey you got over there?
I brought wine. I appreciate it, Look, I have a different view on this. I think Trump was an excellent president.
Oh my
but
God!
The American
Your brain is small with no
does not
wrinkles.
belong to one man. It does not belong to Donald Trump. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to you.
To you.
The people of this country. And the question is, who's going to unite this country and take the America First agenda to the next level?
Biden.
When we rallied behind the cry to make America great again, we did not
$20
just
by
hunger
tomorrow.
for a
There's
single
gonna be
man.
Haji memes
We
of his
hungered
ass.
for the unapologetic pursuit of
They
excellence.
do not like you,
I
bro.
will
I hear you, but they don't like
Donald
you.
Trump and his legacy because it's the right thing to do.
You're
but
reading
we
the
will
script,
unite
but
this country
you're like
to
Finn
take the
in,
America
like,
First
Force
agenda
Awakens.
to the next level, and
can't
that will take a
win
different generation.
That does it. I repeat, that does it. For the second Republican primary debate,
No
live
closing
from the Ronald
statements?
Reagan
Wow.
Presidential Library.
Thank you to all the candidates.
They
We've loved
fucking ran
having
out
you
of
here
time
tonight,
just
and we will
these
see you
people
out
would
on the campaign
shut
trail.
up.
Have a great evening. Thank you for.
Yeah, I'm
They
done
did
listening
run
to
it.
that shit.
You know what? That's poor production. That's just
Yeah,
poor
it's
production.
10:01. Yeah, they ran over.
And they that gives that fuck the final word.
They
God,
meant to do
fuck
that,
that
though.
guy.
They meant to
Fuck
do
that guy in just the
Trying to
worst
get
way.
him, trying to get his numbers up.
Okay,
With a
so
rusty
He's
dildo.
Trump Jr.
So let's do this. We're gonna be a little bit more organized than normal. I'm gonna pick a person at random and just kind of take 30 seconds here. I got a timer here, I think.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a 1 hour timer. I don't know if you want that.
I'm going to bed. That is too much.
Oh, I got a 5-minute timer. That's too long. Well, actually, I'll use the 5-minute timer. There's 5 of us.
Don't you have like
And-
a 1-minute timer?
Well, I can make one real quick. Hold on.
Can you just use your phone?
Can you just like stop making me be the bad guy all the time? Like, can I ever win with you and
No.
you
No, you
people?
can't.
Focus
Do
timer.
we have a soundboard? No.
I would love to see you guys get this fucking soundboard together faster than me. I'd love to see it. You probably
I
would.
mean, my
won't show
Stream
you.
Deck is not as big. Yeah, so.
You,
You know.
well,
I don't
Tim,
have one.
Well, Tim, it's not the motion in the ocean.
Listen,
Oh wait,
I would
it's
have.
not the size of the boat. It's the. I don't know.
There, yeah.
You
wrong-
know,
wrong
maybe I'm
direction.
drunk. Maybe.
I'm not drunk enough, actually.
Calm down,
Take a
chat.
glass
She is
of
she is
rock
with
on.
her big strong friends. You little weirdos. Gotta be careful, Brenna. They're after you for your looks. She has a brain, damn it. Ask her brain
Who?
questions.
Who? Wait, who?
The whores in the
I've-
chat.
I don't see any whores in the chat.
Ben Shady.
Oh, he's a whore, but a different kind of whore. He's a corner camping whore.
Oh, he.
The
he-
worst
he is
of the
a corner
worst.
Camper?
He's one of
Fucking
those.
camper.
He's a camper. Let me see. Oh yeah, see, this is the thing. I forgot what I was looking for. And it's
I
the
didn't know
timer.
Ben Shady was a camping bitch.
Ho ho! 1v1. 1v1. All right, we'll do 45 seconds. 45 sec.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
I'm gonna let you know. I almost said give it to you,
Okay.
but that would be inappropriate.
Look, Mikey.
Nope, no.
It's pretty late.
Shush,
I
shush,
think
shush,
we're
don't
all
say shush,
inappropriate.
shush. 45 seconds. Tim, give us your wrap up of the evening.
You want 45 seconds from me?
You got 38 seconds.
God damn it.
All right, hold on. Starting over now.
All right. Starting over now.
I hate
Okay.
you.
So,
We're at 38 seconds again.
damn it. I request more time.
Just go,
I
Jim,
would
go.
like to reclaim
No,
my
no,
time.
wait, no. I'm gonna start over. Okay, go.
All right, ready? Now.
38 seconds.
Oh
hate
man,
all
you're right. I do get funnier.
I love it.
Uh,
I'm ping ponging this.
you know
I'm
what?
loving this right now.
this wasn't a debate. This was a fucking shit show. They couldn't produce it right. Nobody could be controlled by the moderators. I don't even know if the moderators cared. All the questions were incredibly leading. All the responses were incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
Vivek should be not running for any kind of office because he's a straight up fascist. You know, Chris Christie, boy, he really showed that he doesn't like teachers unions. And hey, Mike Pence. And
that sound indicates that your time has expired for this.
I would like to reclaim my time. In closing, this was not a debate. This was people trying to suck up to Donald Trump or people trying to yell at Donald Trump.
Agreed. The Mammoth. Your 45 seconds begins now.
I don't know. I think
I would like to reclaim my time.
Oh!
you
Damn it!
38 seconds.
Right now.
38 seconds.
Muted Tim. Anyway, there's not a lot to add to what Tim said. I think he rounded it out pretty well. It really is highlighting the rise of fascism, attacking the transgender community, attacking minorities, honestly, attacking truth. The amount of misinformation that is now just spouted as fact that no one ever questions or clashes with or anything is horribly frightening. The amount of statistics people just pull out of their ass and then people like, yep, that's true, is like, I've tried to live my life on verifying everything I hear and they just don't care anymore. Like, I don't know what else to say besides that, honestly.
Well, Ollie, man, I know you've been playing Baldur's Gate. You've been hot knifing. You've been you're probably the best person to ask. How do you think that debate went?
I think if any of those people get elected, your country's going to go down the toilet worse than even if when Trump was in his first office. I really do. All of those people are just absolutely horrible for your country. I can't think of one of them that has redeeming features, honestly.
How many
that I've seen?
How many people from the Ben Podcast Network can fit in your home, and can we seek political asylum in your country?
If
Ben, you didn't even know what the fucking Ben. You calm down over there.
What Ben?
Ben doesn't even know what fucking district he's
Ben
in.
is in the chat and he's being
Ben doesn't. Ben can't even spell savior correctly.
But if we set up a bunch of hammocks in this room or something like that, I could probably, like, if I had to, 25, 30 people could stay if they need to.
Perfect.
Come on up.
We'll need it.
Right?
We're definitely going to need it.
And my parents head to Florida for the winter. We could probably squeeze 40 people in there and not tell them.
Yeah.
We'll use the Florida to Prince Edward Island pipeline to just smuggle ourselves out of here. I forgot to do your timer, so I guess that's enough time.
Okay.
Unfair to Canadians.
Lady Phoenix.
You want to know what I think about that? I think we really need to put in the work this election cycle. This is far more important than we think, because it really is. If any of them get even close to the White House, or if we're done. I mean, we're looking at people who are in charge of states right now, talking about destroying the federal government, who have already destroyed states. We need to put in the work. We need not just encourage people to vote. We need to register voters. We need to find a campaign and do something. We need to volunteer, donate, go to organizations. We need to do something. This is dangerous. These people are dangerous.
This is dangerous. Boom,
and especially if you are a woman, especially if you are a minority, especially if you are an immigrant, your life is literally in danger.
Yeah.
And we need to work at it.
I point of order.
Yes, Tim.
I was thinking about interrupting Brenna, and if I didn't know if it would be sexist to do that,
or racist.
Because I interrupted Mark, so I don't know if that's equal treatment if I interrupt Brenna, or if it's sexist if I interrupt. So
I think it's sexist that you didn't consider that when you offended me by interrupting me.
Yeah, but you're a white man. You have the most privilege ever.
But see, Tim, I'm about equality, so everybody should be treated like shit, just equally.
Yeah. That is how you know what? I'm taking over my fucking camera, speaking of which. That is how I treat everyone, by the way. I treat you all like garbage, so none of you can complain. None of you get me at my best. None of you. So let me start my timer.
But that's my inner monologue. So
here's what I have to say about
whether or not you can interrupt me.
Now, is it racist if I interrupt Mikey, or not racist?
38 seconds.
No, I think it's equality. It's all about equality.
I don't know what would George Floyd do in this situation, Tim? What do you think?
I think
would he kneel on the
Martin
time?
Luther King
would he
said
kneel on the time of the black
that we
man
should judge
with his
people
white knee? Would he put
by
the white
contents
knee
of their character
on
and not the color of their skin?
Now, Tim, why don't we just put you in office as a Republican and just pull the single greatest hoax ever?
Can you guys mansplaining to me?
So mansplaining is like when a woman explains shit to you, but she uses 13,000 times more words than necessary. I'm a nerd vomiter, so I feel bad when everyone says like I mansplain. It's like, no, I over explain everything because I like to explain things because I'm a nerd.
You get excited.
I want it to be a teacher, so I like to share knowledge with people. It's fun for me. It brings me delight.
But whatever. Would you like to explain teaching to me?
So teaching is.
I would like to say to Ben in the chat that the color blue is not a hoax.
He don't know that. He does not know what the color blue is.
Is he colorblind?
According to him.
Now that's racist.
I think Tim is right. That wasn't a debate, but I think what it did. Oh shit, timer. But I think what it did do is it kind of shows you kind of like, where is the Republican Party now that Trump has, I mean, forget about Trump. Remember Trump in the debates a couple of times ago? And it was like a shit show and it was all crazy and everyone was like, whoa, this is so wow.
That's what it is now.
Remember what it was before that? That's kind of where we're at, and no one knows what their role is. Like, they don't know, like, it's like musical chairs and the music suddenly stopped and they're all kind of like, do I push him or do I just go for the chair? And they're fighting,
you push.
But they don't know how to fight each other because they're not used to fighting. They're not used to fighting in this new arena, in the post-Trump era, because Trump just, you know,
well,
just
Vivek,
sexually,
right?
he just sexually abuses people and then jokes about it and then gets sued for it. And it's like, well, we can't do what he's doing, right? Because he's got all these legal things. So we got to do something cleaner, but we got to kind of imitate him. And they don't know what that line is. Like, how do I mimic Trump to get his fan base without going to jail? Bad news, there's no way to do it.
Well, and then you look at what Trump is going through right now and Trump's people is going through right now. Not a single one of them mentioned any legal issues that were going around.
They won't say it. That's weird.
Because they don't want to alienate his people.
Right.
But they also don't want to alienate their own people. Like, they're trying to do this fine line, but what they're missing is a great way of taking down Trump. But they won't do it.
They're too scared
They're
because
afraid.
if they miss, they'll never be able to run for anything again. Because everybody who went against Trump, their money dried up and then they lost because the Democrats were surging because of Trump and then their money dried up. So they didn't kiss the ring. The Democrats surged and now I'm out of my seat and now I got to go back to fucking working at Home Depot, driving a fucking forklift. Like, they don't want that. So they'll do whatever they fucking have to do to stay away from being away from normal people. That's why I picked a forklift job at Home Depot, because it's a normal job. Not because it's a demeaning job. It's a normal, I think forklift driver or warehouse, it's like right in the middle of, I do manual labor versus I do some other, it's right in the middle.
I do skilled manual labor.
Skilled manual labor, yeah.
Well, and as much as I agree with that statement, I don't think it would matter if every one of them on stage was attacking Trump for being a piece of shit with all the indictments. He has locked down the base so hard, there is nothing that could be done for him to lose the nomination.
I will pose this to you, Mark. What if Pence said, well, at least with me, I will be able to swear on the Bible, not from a prison cell?
Trump's never going to prison, so that doesn't matter.
Here is the problem.
Like that would be the counter argument.
I'm just saying
you
that
can literally go from
today.
From today, Trump's business was taken away from him.
In New York, only New York.
And which is not a big deal. He can just incorporate somewhere else and do the same thing somewhere else.
Correct.
Him losing his business licenses in New York and having the Trump organization dissolved, I doubt he cares. He gave up on that so long ago.
I don't think that's not the point, though. The point is, what does that look like to his voters?
The fact that they said that he inflated his worth. Like, he inflated his worth. He committed fraud. He's fraudulent.
Correct.
And I really don't think that it's just New York. This is going to go around.
Oh, it definitely will spread, but
it's going to spread.
But the problem with his base is that it doesn't matter whatever he's convicted on. They just turn the logic and continue in the same fucking direction, regardless of whether or not they're
which
falling
is why
off the cliff.
Nobody talked about it.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, but at this point, even if people talked about it, I don't see it as it won't matter.
It actually
You're not going to
hurt
convince
the people
those
on stage. Whoever talks about it will hurt them. Even Chris Christie didn't do it, and Chris Christie,
he did a bit. Right.
He didn't push it.
Yeah.
And all of them, he's the one that attacked Trump.
Not like last time. Last time he went after him a little bit. This time he.
If it was Vivek, who had all that shit, everyone would have just said, "I ain't scared of you, bitch," and they would have said, "Oh, you're under investigation for X, Y, and Z, and where do you think you're going? You're going to be in jail, motherfucker." Da, da, da. Like, they would be all about it, but they still won't say "he who shall not be named" because they need that vote. Because that's the thing. If you try to go Republican without trying to absolve the MAGA constituent, you will lose because they will split your vote. That's the thing. MAGA will split the Republican Party. Ben, by the way, there's no way your boy's winning. He's fucked. He has successfully split the Republican Party, which is fine by us. Like, it's fine by me, because now none of your shit will ever get through because you guys are too busy arguing amongst each other. So, thanks.
Let them argue about who's the most Trumpian of the
I'll put 100 on it, Ben.
No matter what, no matter what they do, whether they kiss Trump's ass, whether they talk shit about him on stage, they're not getting his voters.
They don't want
him. He is the leader of a cult.
Right.
They are a cult. Every symptom of cult-like behavior exists in the MAGA universe. And they can kiss Trump's ass all they want. They can talk shit about him all they want. They're never getting his voters. As long as he's in the race,
right,
they're fighting for whatever's left.
Well, that's a thing that's been happening, like watching MSNBC, where they're like, this, especially for today, this debate is for second place.
Excuse me.
That's what these debates are not for first place. Trump doesn't have to show up
to win.
He really does not, which infuriates like people who I've been watching debates since before I could vote. And
which was 4 years ago. She's very young.
Wow.
I wish.
No, you don't. Would you want to be fucking 21 right now?
Odd.
Oh, that would be awful.
According to Vivek, I wouldn't be able to vote.
Right. Yeah, unless you fucking passed his Scantron test.
Jesus.
With a number 2
Don't
pencil.
Say Scantrons.
Fucking bring back fucking PTSD for teachers. God. Just say Scantron.
God, no, make it stop, Mikey, make it stop.
No, the scanning. The scanning.
And then it doesn't read it the first 3 times, so it has to go.
It's like those goddamn Dominion voting machines. Am I right?
Anyway,
so that's how he could have connected with all the teachers unions. Like, those Dominion voting machines were just like Scantrons.
There you go.
I hate those things.
There you go. Multiple choice questions.
The people that support Donald Trump, and Ron DeSantis learned this firsthand, will never support anyone other than Donald Trump, no matter how far to the right of him you go.
No.
So then why are these people running for president? Because
they want to be VP.
I think the moderator asked that question to fucking Ron DeSantis very well. She was like, what's your path to winning this shit? And he didn't have an answer because he has no path.
No.
Because
none of these guys have a shot.
Because the only path is if Donald Trump falls over dead of a heart attack. Like that's...
Because as much as this is like a mostly progressive leaning show, I'm not a progressive, by the way. I have a much different take on politics.
Hey, Mike Pence.
Hey, Mike Pence.
That has to be a shirt.
That's got to be a t-shirt.
It's on my
and
list.
it's just Mike Pence going like this. I love it. Let's do it.
Or should we do like,
hey, Mike Pence.
Hey, Mike Pence. Should we put some rainbows on it?
Oh.
He'd love that shirt.
Don't besmirch the rainbow.
Yeah, don't
destroy
it.
If you're doing the Hey Mike Pence shirt, you could have him waving like this, and the shadow in the background from his hand could be a noose. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it would work.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that Easter egg in fucking what's it called? Wizard of Oz. Like in that forest scene, and you could see like the little thing hanging off the rope. Apparently it was a weight. It wasn't a person, but it went around as a person for a long time. That was like an old wives' tale.
I was babysitting my niece, and we watched the Tarzan movie from the early 2000s, and when the villain dies at the end.
I don't know. Remember Tarzan.
Well, like the villain falls from some vines and like hangs himself, and then his silhouette is.
Oh God!
Like lightning. It's one of the darkest scenes in a Disney kids movie.
Yeah, as soon as they told me Phil Collins was taking care of the soundtrack, I was like,
I don't really know.
Actually, a really good soundtrack.
I mean,
it's one of the best soundtracks.
It's better. It's better than the movie. I could say that.
But it's Phil Collins.
No, Phil Collins has some tasty jams. None of them are on that fucking movie. There's no Sussudio on that fucking movie.
Family.
Sussudio is my shit. All right, I'll rewatch Tarzan.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Mikey.
You're just wrong, damn it.
No,
You're
I don't
just
think
wrong.
he is. Sussudio was fucking great.
Sussudio is a fucking.
It really was.
Sussudio is a fucking. Or she's a easy lover.
Welcome to Speaking from the Center, the Phil Collins podcast. Where we talk about Phil Collins.
We're gonna take
it.
Do you guys? Hey, do you guys remember when Phil Collins was in Hook?
Oh my God!
I'm not lying.
Hook? I
Google
don't
it.
remember.
Or,
You're probably right. He was. He was just one of the minor pirates, wasn't he?
No, that was Julia Roberts.
I remember when Phil Collins was in South Park, but that's about it.
Oh.
You're going to great lengths for this bit, Mikey.
What are you talking? It's not a bit. This is fact.
Also, we should probably round out the show. We've been going on for a minute.
They'll sit here until I tell them to leave. Damn it.
And that, Tim, wrap us out.
No,
no. I want to see how the fight in the chat goes. No, I want to see how the fight in the chat goes.
I know exactly how it's gonna go. Now, if you look, this quality is fucking. Would they film this on a potato? Jesus.
Dude, go to YouTube.
He's the maitre d' at the restaurant or something at the beginning of it.
It was YouTube.
One of those wax cylinders.
No. Here you go. What the figgity? This is the smallest picture in the history of Earth.
Is Phil Collins still alive?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is.
Man, that dude must be ancient.
Bangarang.
Rufio.
He was Rufio?
No.
Yeah.
Phil Collins was correct.
Didn't you see him?
You know what? He looks different in the movie.
Remember when he said, "Looky, looky, I got hooky"?
No, I don't.
Cookie, that's what you most believe in.
Okay, this is pretty good. All right, that should work.
That's still a pretty small picture.
I know. He's Inspector Good is the guy's name. Let me just Google images of Inspector.
Or go to his IMDb, see if the picture
Inspector for good.
Fucking good.
Man, I hope your safe search is on, because that might not be great.
I don't know if you've met me, Tim. Do you think anything about me breeds safe search? Do you think safe search is even part of my fucking lexicon?
Inspector Good sounds straight out of a porn. Just saying.
That's fine. Oh yeah, that's right. This isn't the right screen. I need you to switch to the screen, please.
I need you to give me a lollipop.
There it is. Booyah. So when the kids go missing and the police show up, the Rosas, there's a lead detective, and his name is Inspector Good.
Inspector Good will take care of you.
It's Phil Collins with hair. That's Phil Collins.
So yeah, Phil Collins was in a porn.
Okay. Tim, I get that you're high and you're making jokes, but if you make jokes about fucking Hook, so help me. I will not be able to stop
making jokes while he's high, so we'll give him a break on this one.
I think the newer adaptations of Peter Pan were significantly better.
Oh, boo!
Fucking Wayne almost didn't make it to season 2 because he hadn't watched a Goofy movie. I don't know if besmirching Hook is going to be safe for you, Tim.
I don't like the Goofy movies, and I have still seen Goofy movies.
The first one's good. It's just legit. The first one's legit good. It's like a good Disney movie.
It's also just not one that I grew up watching.
But can we talk about that for 2 seconds? What the fuck are the Goofies? And then what are the fat Goofies, which is like his best friend?
Dogs. They're dogs.
They're dogs.
They're anthropomorphic dogs.
Are they though? But what was his little light-skinned girlfriend? Was she like a hyena dog or like a cat dog? I don't know.
I think you're
dogs
thinking about
come in all sorts of colors. Like, I'm colorblind, but
she didn't have like the fucking hound snout. She looked like a little Chihuahua dog or something. Like they're not even all the same dog anymore.
Here's my Republican platforms for when I run.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm with you.
All right.
Yeah.
We deport all the illegals. Just get rid of them. None of this.
Right.
Just send the army down there.
Well, what do we do when they're from Europe?
When they're from Europe, they get special visas that say they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Oh, well, that's fair for them.
White people are okay.
Start the border wall at Canada. Can't have any of those filthy Canadians in here.
We need to be more aware of them.
I'm perfectly all right if you want to build a border between us and you guys. Because you know what that wall will also do? It'll help keep you guys south of the border once things really go to shit down
Here's
there.
what we're going to do. We're going to install slides on your side so we can slide down the wall.
So is this a complicated game of shoots and ladders?
Yeah.
So.
And
shoots and nukes?
Stop.
The only people who can vote are 55 and up. Everyone else is too dumb to vote. They don't pay enough taxes.
So here's the thing. So if I'm young, let's say, I don't know, I live in Detroit or Chicago.
I'm sorry, those cities are on fire. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's LA. So
I'm not in LA.
Oh, a hit dog a holler every time, I tell you what. Wasn't nobody even talking about you, but you just knew the fires were for you. But if I'm a young person, I graduated from high school, I got my first job, and I'm paying all this money. I pay a lot of tax.
But
you don't really want me to vote until I'm 25?
Well, what color is your
skin?
You
said 50.
I mean, I
said 55. I said 55.
I hear what everyone's saying, but I just feel like we already talked about this when it came to Ollie's countrymen, the British, when it came to taxing motherfuckers without giving them a voice.
Well, here's the other part of my platform is we're going to get rid of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments.
Cool.
And that'll solve a lot of problems, I think. I think it'll put a lot of people back to work. For
Can we
very low wages.
Can we have the drugs in your world?
Oh yes, the drugs. Yes, you can have the
free drugs for all.
Drugs and slavery. That's the platform.
Well, there we go.
Druggery.
So who gets to who decides who's the slave and who's not the slave?
Rich white people.
Oh, so the same way it's always been.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elon Musk.
But more
right,
obvious.
right.
Just more obvious.
What is the female role in all this?
Have you ever seen?
See you later, Ben. We'll raid you. You piece of shit. Thanks for the
Ben, you piece of shit. Have you ever seen The Handmaid's Tale?
Yes, I have.
Something like that, but not so Jesus-y, more cold and governmental.
How about we get how about we have an American religion and we just get rid of God and we make the founding fathers our new gods, like a pantheon, like summon the spirit of Jefferson.
President Neil Gaiman.
Good luck with that.
I mean, their religion and their politics is already fucking. They're already fucking kissing cousins at this point.
So I think all right, so we get these gods together.
Nope, I didn't do anything, you fuckers.
And their slogan will be "Make America Great Again."
Okay.
Or America First. You know, workshop it. We could workshop it.
The America of before. Now.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember that 2 weeks that CAGA was a thing?
Yeah.
They will never act like it existed, but those fuckers were wearing shirts that said "Keep America Great Again" with their dumb asses. They had CAGA shirts, and they stopped printing them after 10 days. They did not give us a lot of time, but it's out there. You can find it on the internet.
We need a slogan that's just vaguely Nazi enough to get it by the general populace.
A blunt in every pot.
Ooh, there we go. And then we should blame black people for all the bad things and say that they're burning the cities and looting and rioting. And that'll solve some stuff.
You know what we didn't hear tonight? The best way to fight the cartel is to legalize weed.
But that's
that would
because
disrupt too many industries.
That's because drugs are bad. We need a war on them.
No. Drugs are good, but they have to come from big pharma in order.
Also,
like fentanyl. Wait.
Yeah.
A war.
That's China. That's
we need a war.
The China
on
pharmacies
poor
are bad.
Well, we need a war on poor people, a war on poverty.
So the thing is, though, when you try to conquer poor people, they don't have anything for you to loot.
We can
after
get them
you
out
win.
of. We can get them out of there.
Out of where?
Everywhere.
But that's the thing. I feel like everyone's trying to loot America and kick us normal ass broke motherfuckers out of the country. Bitch, do you think I can afford to leave now? You should have left me a little bit of money in my account so I can move to another country if you don't want me here. But now I'm broke, so you're stuck with me.
Now you also have a child, which means you do not have money.
We ship all those people to Alaska. Ship them all to Alaska, and we say, "Hey, Russia,
no,
you want it back?
Can we trade?
No.
Can we trade the Ukraine for Russia? That's my question. I'd take that trade if they can keep Sarah Palin and all of her 65 kids and the shoe that she lives in, and they can
grandchildren.
They could just have Alaska back, and then Ukraine's leave Ukraine alone, and you can have Alaska.
And all right, last policy.
Yes, sir.
Every school gets that textbook that Dutch has, and an audio recording of Dutch reading it.
Oh.
And that's the only thing they're taught.
They're being taught by Mr. Humble.
Mr. Humble. Every teacher is referred to as Mr. Humble.
That's the title of teacher now.
That's a title.
The teacher title is removed.
And they learn about American history through a textbook that was made in Texas that thinks that slavery was just white people being nice to black people.
Well, they were getting them out of that situation and putting them into a situation where they could learn skills.
They were giving them skills.
They were civilizing them. They had no civilization.
So it's times like these where like you hear,
read a fucking book.
Like you hear these grown ass adults, right? Like these grown ass adults say stupid shit like that. And I mean, I have a new baby. Everybody, it's no surprise. She's 6 months old. And the amount of she's very cute. The amount of fucking advice that people want to give me is staggering. Seeing as these are the same people who can't figure out that the person that they voted for has no money and has been grifting them for 6 years and has been pumping them of all of their funds for 6 years. And they haven't figured it out yet. And then all of his policies started trade wars and tariff wars with China and bankrupted them. And Lauren Boebert last night at 11:45, while everyone else was asleep. By the way, the budget, I don't know if it's been passed since we've been fucking streaming.
It's not. It has not.
It still hasn't.
They're not going to.
So at 11:45,
they're literally out of time.
This garbage bag bimbo trailer park prostitute bitch decided that she's going to take the lady who was giving more SNAP benefits to the people because of inflation, which their SNAP dollars didn't fucking go anywhere because all the people who got tax breaks from Trump kept the money as opposed to hiring people and reinvesting into the company. They just bought their own fucking stock and sat on it.
You mean trickle down economics doesn't work?
Yeah, it's called trickle into my own fucking pocket. Thank you very much. So they kept all the money from the tax cuts. That was billions of dollars. But no, that was one. Was it 900 or 846 billion? I think it was the Trump tax cuts.
Yeah.
That's the money that was supposed to be y'all's. That's the money that was supposed to pay for everything. And y'all let him give it away to his friends. Now, after that 900 and whatever fucking $billion was supposed to trickle down to us, y'all let me know, Trump voters, how much of it did you get? How much went directly into your bank account because he cut taxes for corporations? Because whatever increase you might have had, I don't want to have to ask Tim and Mark to pull up what the CEOs were making during that same time period. I bet you didn't match them.
Nope.
Like golden parachutes, they made golden fucking Falcon 9 heavies off of your money. And it's gone. Like that money is gone. They ate that. That's in their accounts forever. We will never be able to tax that away from them. They took it. And you gave it to them. And now you want everybody in the world to fucking go without because you gave away damn near $1 trillion to motherfuckers who were already rich.
Mm-hmm. And CEO pay went up 40% in the last 4 years.
But I'm the problem because I don't want LGBT kids to be fucking put out of their house or suffer the indignity of going through puberty as a girl in a male body. Do some research on gender dysphoria before you come after the Ben podcast. Learn what you're even mad about. Learn what you don't know.
Yeah, Vivek, you fuck.
Do what is necessary so that you're informed on the things that you're speaking on, because it's real people's lives that are in the balance. And all you motherfuckers who are millennials and shit like that, guess what? You're not fucking 19 anymore. You're a grown up.
I'm 37.
You got to pay attention to the facts now. You need to know who represents you in your city, on the city council, alderman, state rep.
And how they represent you.
House rep, Senate rep. Like, you need to know who these people are. You need to be on their Twitter, on their Facebooks. Keep a handle on these motherfuckers. See what they're doing, what they're not doing. Something bad happens in your area and nothing changes. Send them a fucking tweet.
Call them once a day. Say, hey, what's going on?
And if you send them a tweet and they don't say nothing back, send me the at me in the tweet, and I'll blow it up on the show. Because this is what needs to. There needs to be a show that is that service. If your representative is not doing what they're supposed to do, let us know, and we'll look into it, and we'll find out probably more stuff than you will because we got more people joining the squad. Aisla is joining the squad. Big Haas is joining the squad. Attorney Anna is joining the squad.
Woohoo!
That's like 6 more degrees we just got on the show in that. So 2024 is going to be the year of reckoning. We ain't going down like no punk bitches. Not today.
Fuck shit up.
It's fuck shit up season.
I'm sad and depressed.
You know what?
2024. No, we gotta fuck shit up.
The motto for 2024 is we're doing Black Air Force energy.
And or we're doomed.
Black Forces energy from here on out. Wait till Thursday when I curse for about an hour. I've been fucking cooking, and I am like a crock pot of rage right now.
Sad I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know if I'll be there live.
Well, you shouldn't.
What's happening Thursday, Mikey?
Well, Thursday the Ben podcast is going live, and someone has attacked one of our friends.
Oh no,
that is a fucking mistake.
That is a mistake.
That is a mistake. Someone said some nasty shit about one of our friends, and I'm gonna deal with that. I wish you would come for me, you little dick bitch. I got your email records and everything. You shitty motherfucker. You only got 1,000 views in a fucking 5 years, bitch. Your music sucks, bitch. And I'm on your ass.
All right. Yeah, save it for tomorrow. We don't have
2 o'clock.
Take a nap, Mikey. You need to take a nap.
No, fuck him.
We get it.
Piece
but
of shit.
we're gonna end the show now.
No.
Yeah, we have to, Mikey.
So join us next week on Speaking from the Center for more politics and despair. And I don't know. Tomorrow, the Ben podcast. You got a preview of things to come.
I'm at the Ben podcast, so if you want to see more of me,
yeah, and if you want to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/VicStriker.
No, the Ben podcast.
What? You can.
I will mute you again, Tim.
Any amount of money will help. Any amount of money will help. Patreon.com/the Ben podcast.
Venmo at Triton589.
Cash App at and we're gonna raid somebody, so make sure to follow them in the raid. And
so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna raid Ben.
Oh man, make sure to shit talk Ben as much as possible.
Dude, ruin his night.
I'm going to bed.
Ruin his night. We're gonna make sure that he has the best stream ever.
I'm gonna say mean things for 5 minutes, then I'm going to sleep.
Sounds good. We love you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Peace.
Bye. Why isn't the music playing?
Because you didn't hit the button.
There it is.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
It could still hear us. Huh? Yay!
That's okay. You can't see.
Is it lever or lever?
Pull the lever, Kronk. Pull the lever.